Trader of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Friday edition. The both Packers preseason game previewing edition and the joint practice going on in Denver during the show edition. All the fun things you love about Fridays.
Who do we got out there? Demo out there? Where are we getting our info from?
I don't know if Rob is out there either.
That's your best friend. You don't know where he's at?
Oh, no, you're my best friend.
Oh, boy. That's a whole nother conversation.
Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And also, it's so funny over there.
Oh, I'm just messing with my boy Jelly this morning. That's all.
He set something on.
No, Jesse throws the laptop little keyboard deal at me, so I set it over, and it was hitting one of the buttons.
Oh, no.
And it was bothering Jesse.
It was messing with my headphones where I couldn't hear anything because it's like the button Tausch uses to talk to me.
I can see why that would be problematic.
Very frustrating.
Very
frustrating.
Very, very, very frustrating. Also in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, it is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
So I don't know. I'm not irritated. I got a couple of things, as typically happens when I venture
or travel or do anything.
So Madison, Sun Prairie, Verona, it doesn't matter. The whole area is grown like a weed. Like there's just buildings going up everywhere. It's great. It's great for everything. Traffic. You expect there's gonna be some traffic.
Sounds like you're gonna say it's great.
No, I don't. I just want to be clear. I want someone to clarify it. 151. We live in an isthmus. Okay, it's an
not a peninsula.
It's an isthmus. So you really have one road that is coming in. There's a couple, but really one that is coming in.
There's the main drag.
151 will bring you right to the Capitol from Sun Prairie. If you're at DeForest, whatever is used, zip over there. And you decide to take one of the lanes on both sides. There's 3 lanes typically, and you paint them red and say nobody can drive on here but a bus. Tell me how that makes any sense.
So I am not a Madison resident anymore, but we were in Madison for the ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light.
What I'm really asking is, can I drive in the red bus lanes?
No.
Why?
Now, wait a minute.
Bus, if there's no bus, I didn't see one bus on 151. Now, there's orange cones. They're still working through it. But if there's no buses in that bus lane, why are we suffocating the rest of the traffic so there's one bus lane? Can someone explain that to me?
Yeah, Jesse, are you sure about that? Because our experience as we were driving.
It seems as if that's what they're asking you to do.
I have a source who works for
in the DOT?
He's very familiar with the bus system, I will say.
Hey,
very
listen,
familiar.
Great. Buses, all for it. But go ahead, bus. But I don't think you should shut off traffic if there's no bus there. Like, I just don't. Buses already get free passageway. They fly in front of you all the time. You're like, all right.
Or like
cool.
e-bikes.
I mean, part of the thing is it's not up and running yet. It's going to start, I think, sometime in September is when they're really going to implement all of this. So there will be more buses.
And I should be able to
in
follow
there.
the bus.
Well, no.
Why?
Because it's a bus lane, and it's like when we
All
have
right, I'm going to get an old T lane. This is a carpool lane, a Tahoe lane, a small car lane. Is that
Chuck
what we're
Ebbs
doing?
lane.
Is that what we're going to do?
If you would like to talk with the city of Madison to see if you could get the old T lane
I don't
implemented,
have a problem
you can
with,
try.
I'm fine with HOV lanes. I think it's a good promoter of things, but I don't understand why on a busy road already you're going to eliminate a lane. You're eliminating a lane. Not real happy about it.
Would you like to be more informed on the situation?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to like
I
what
would
I'm hearing.
I would like us to be more informed on the situation, yes.
So my understanding is that
I'd like it from somebody that's not you.
I think he's reading from the dot.
I'm not reading from the dot, but I'm conveying from a trusted source. Part of the issue on 151, also known as East Washington Avenue, on that side of town, going up to the Capitol, is there have been many pedestrian injuries or fatalities over the years with the 6 lanes of traffic and the with the
Having a big
overabundance.
bus lane ain't going to help that.
Well, with the abundance of the apartments and all
Put
the things
some
you
sky
just
bridges
mentioned,
for
were-
people to walk over.
Now,
That would make more sense.
Sky bridges would be a great option. I
Okay,
think
put sky bridges instead of shutting down more traffic. Like, come on. Who's designing that?
bridges in general that would just go over the
Sky
traffic
bridges.
instead of across
Yes.
it. Yes.
We need sky bridges. Like Vegas.
But one of the things that has come up is they are purposely trying to slow the traffic on East Washington Avenue.
No, mission accomplished.
So that if people do
you know
run
who's
into
going to be happy
certain-
about that?
can stop in
Jocko.
time or whatever.
Jocko. You can spend more time in your car. And you
Good.
can spend more time listening to Brewers games. Yeah.
Oh, wrong Jocko. Sorry. My
So,
fault.
all right, basically, I understand what you're saying. I knew that's what was happening. I don't like it one bit. It is what it is, and I can either say to hell with it and move, or this is what it is. So, all right, put some bridges up. That would be my recommendation. And the other thing, this parking ramp, I don't know what to say. If you are going to back into a spot right where you turn in from the little parking deal where the little gate raises up, you better be good at parking. I had to wait 2 minutes. I was a minute and a half late for our meeting at 8:30 because this guy's just sitting there, and then he has the gall to get mad at me because I'm irritated with him. So I gave him one of these. I was super irritated. So other than that, I'm feeling good this morning.
Wait. Your hand went out of the video picture there. So was there a specific finger that was extended when you did that? Or
Old boy it looked like he was backing out to leave because we're right next to the parking or the entrance and exit point, right?
Sure.
So he's doing that. So I'm kind of in a hurry. So I'm going the other way. I'm just gonna I see you're backing out. I'm just gonna go kind of veer left and then shoot behind you, right? So that you're not slowing me down. You can keep about your business. Well, then he gets irritated because he's backing into some stall. I'm like,
so you got between the stall he was backing into and
no,
his
I
vehicle.
stopped before because then I finally saw what the hell he was doing, and I could tell he's irritated with me, and I just gave him one of the, he yelled something, and I said, "Get moving, let's go!" I was,
boy.
I was irritated.
Did he hear you?
Oh yeah, you heard me. It was a little awkward
Get
as I walked
moving.
past him.
You had to walk past him?
If you're going to park and back into spots right by entry and exit points, you better be good. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't mind you backing in. I think it's dumb, but okay. If you're going to do it and you have plenty of time, great. You're not slowing down the flow of traffic because you want to back in and maybe get out 3 seconds earlier.
And you were not a pedestrian. You were still in your vehicle.
No, I was in my car, yeah.
Well, you're also by an exit where you might have been walking and he could have been trying to run you over. I just was looking for that detail. Do you feel like you've been a little heavy on grievances this week?
Not really. 3 grievances in 4 or 5 days. That's
just
not a
been
lot.
an average week. Okay. All right.
Do we not agree that you can't slow down the flow of traffic by backing into a spot? And the other thing, I'm starting to get the yips. And it's not with parallel parking.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So I'm up in Door County, and
Not enough gas.
There's a ton of street parking. So I'm always wanting to show off my parallel parking skills. But in the same respect, there's a lot of pressure because people jam in, and you got people at Highway 42. It's just busier than a bear, right? I end up, like, I'm having some issues with curb. Like, I'm getting a little curb heavy. Not on my parallel parking, just on pulling in and parking my car.
Oh, boy. 2
yippers. And I'm starting to wonder if I'm losing my touch when it comes to parking. So those are my 3 things for today.
Try to curb your enthusiasm about those things. So you're just not, your spatial relations are off?
I don't know. No, I still feel like when I parallel park, I'm on point. But when I'm just pulling in, and it's not angle parking, I don't even know what you'd call it. When you don't have to parallel park, you just pull into a spot, but it's a vertical spot.
Yeah.
Have you had your eyes checked recently?
Yeah, I think my...
Like, if you said you're having trouble driving at night and you're having trouble with your depth with the curb, like, maybe you should...
But I'm still on point when it comes to... Yeah, that's a good point. Jesse, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think I need to go get my eyes checked.
Wow.
Sounds like a potential partnership to me.
It definitely does. Hopefully, the guy that was backing in isn't an optometrist that might have been that partner. I still can't. So you had to walk by him as you guys got out of your vehicles and you had to pass by each other?
Well,
That's
he was
part of the story.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I walked by. I wasn't going to, I'm not looking to fight him.
You didn't say anything at all?
You didn't give him a dirty look?
He was in his car with his window up. What am I going to go knock on the window and say, hey, bro, get your blank moving? No, I'm not going to do that.
Raise the coffee, a little cheers, good
I didn't
morning.
have a coffee.
Here's to you.
By the way, I still don't have a coffee, which is another thing that's semi-irritating.
Can someone please get Mr. Tauscher some coffee?
No, I have, that's a whole, we're good.
All right, well, we've got a lot to get to. The Packers have a joint practice with the Denver Broncos today, not in Golden, Colorado, in Englewood, Colorado. I don't know where that is in relation to Golden, but they've got a joint practice today. We'll keep an eye on social media for the updates there since I am in my basement. And then they will play the Broncos in a preseason game on Sunday night in a game that will not include...
Doesn't really fit my schedule great, if I'm being honest. Sunday night? We do a Saturday afternoon, and I bet you it's going to be like a Thursday morning game. Like, what are we doing here?
So they So they only have one more preseason game left after this one.
And it's Thursday at 11 a.m.
It's not Thursday at 11 a.m.
Live stream it.
There have been years where they've had it on a Friday and whatever else. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff on Sunday night. And then...
Is it on Peacock?
No, I think it's just on the Packers TV network. And then their preseason finale, which is at Lambeau Field, is on the following Saturday.
Oh, fun.
At noon.
No, nooner.
Is that going to work for you, or is that problematic?
We'll make it work.
Much like Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make your entry doors work as a way to welcome your guests to your home.
Well, how do you say welcome to your guests if you're in a parking garage? Don't back into a spot and make everybody wait 10 minutes.
Get moving!
That'd be a good way. But you know what you should do? Say it with a new entry door. From Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you can say it with color. The possibilities are endless. Thanks to Pella's custom colors, and you say it with class. Just pull in head first. Get out everybody's way. Pella's premium doors stand out due to their distinguished craftsmanship, and you'd say it with a great deal. 0% interest for 5 years, not 3. For 5 years, that's 60 months, no money down, with equal payments spread across the board. But hurry up. This offer ends on the 31st of August. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We'll get ready for the joint practice and the preseason game next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Oh, well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America. The best place in Elkhart Lake is America's National Park of Speed. Make the most out of your summer at Road America. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Up next is the GT World Challenge August 16th through the 18th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Double Days, Mount Vernon Tap, Rips Bar in Wanakee, and Caribou Tavern.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes: the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
We want to get to the Packers, but there was some breaking news yesterday afternoon or evening. And a friend of the show who we have been rooting for as he went through his struggles after his fractured kneecap and the ups and downs after his MVP season and then his MVP caliber season the next year. Christian Yelich is done for the year. Undergoing back surgery. I saw he and the Brewers posted something on social media. He was talking about it a little bit. Jesse, you are, I was going to say you're our biggest Brewers fan, but you do leave games early.
That's rude. Going again tonight. Chance at redemption tonight.
Who are you going with a different group?
Yes,
that allow you to stay.
Becca is still going with me, but we've replaced the others with more passionate Brewers fans. I'm confident in saying we will be there to the end tonight, unless it's a blowout.
Okay. So if Prize Picks was setting the departure, though, that you're saying like top of the 8th inning, you're that confident that, and it would take the more?
I actually think a great projection would be top of the 9th, 1 out.
Oh, so you can still try to beat a little bit.
So you can get a little head start if you're feeling good about like a 5-1 lead kind of situation. Yeah.
Okay.
You can keep an eye on it before you get out of the stadium. If developments happen with a couple guys on base, you can stick around. But otherwise, yeah, you're good.
I'll tell you, that was an impressive win yesterday.
It was?
The Crew. Very impressive win for the Crew. And Jason mentioned it. Unfortunately, I think we all kind of had the inkling when you heard what Yelich was going through, and when Pat Murphy was kind of talking about it. That stinks because he has taken a lot of heat, and I know, when he joined us, we were discussing that, and I think he just kept plugging away, and now he has to kind of reboot again, and those back injuries, and you just hope that he's able to continue on, because what he was able to do, you could tell he was having a lot of fun with this group, and it always sucks when a season gets cut short.
So I always tend to compare things to the Packers, of course, and I always think about the 2002 team that you were on. You tear your ACL in New Orleans. Cliffy gets cheap-shotted by Warren Sapp, and he has his season end in Tampa. You guys had more injuries. Darren Sharper, who obviously was a crucial piece of the defense, gets hurt. And then you guys end up losing at home to Michael Vick and the Falcons, which, had you not had that run of bad health, that was a pretty darn good football team.
It was. I know you want to bring it back to the Packers, but I do think, the conversation we had, I don't know what show I was on, with the Brewers being cursed. If you start looking at this great playoff run, this is the golden era of Brewers baseball. There has been a key member of the team, whether it's Devin
Williams
his
punching a wall,
hand up, Yelich got hurt with, you mentioned it, the fractured kneecap. Are we starting to buy that maybe a little bit?
All right, so I don't buy that, and I understand
what are you
want to
buy?
I understand you want to get to that. I do wonder. My point was going to be, they have done such a great job.
I was wondering what your point was going to be.
Well, I didn't get to it because I was interrupted.
Hey, Del Griffith. You know what's interesting? A beginning, an end, and having a point. I continue.
It's going to be one of those days.
Proud of his town. That's a damn rare thing these days.
The question I have is this the injury that finally puts it over the top?
I don't think so.
I don't think so necessarily either, but the dude was hitting 315.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing really well. This is not the Yelly that was struggling in previous years. And they are already without their ace for the entire season. They've spent much of the season without Devin Williams. Go on and on and on, much like I was about the 2002 Packers roster. And that's my point. When is the point where you just
Your
get
tipping
pushed
point, if
off
you will.
the right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. But we can discuss if they're cursed if you'd prefer.
Well, I think obviously 2010, there's a lot of, we had 15 guys on the IR, but you had a lot of young players that were up to the task, and everything got hot. So it all comes back to, are they people that you can replace and find ways to still be effective? And I don't think this team, if they don't advance into the playoffs, I don't think it's going to be because of their bats. I think it'll be because of their starting arms. And if that's the case, no, it's not going to be Yelly. Would Yelly be obviously a veteran and a leader, and he can still be a part of that operation, just not on the field? Are they going to have enough pitching to do it? And I think the bullpen has been pretty doggone good. Do you have enough starting pitching? And that's going to be your difference maker when the playoffs get here and when the Brewers are trying to advance. And that really is the question. That's when you could say, well, one of your best arms hasn't been able to pitch all year.
Right.
That's obviously going to be a big blow.
So, Jesse, when you break down this team, the 8 innings of each game that you watch, how concerned are you about this putting them at the tipping point of injuries.
It's a bummer because he is that veteran leader that's been in the postseason runs before, and when it's a young team, like Jackson Chourio is probably a better player than Christian Yelich is, but at least at this point. But Jackson Chourio's never been in a postseason run the way Christian Yelich has. Willie Adames has been up and down when it's come to postseason performances. Christian Yelich has been pretty solid throughout his entire career. So it's a bummer that you're missing the veteran leader, but I do hope that similar to the 2019 postseason run that the Brewers made when Yelich also got hurt at the end of the year, that the Brewers can use this as that rallying moment. And you could say, okay, without Yelich, we've still got this. And that can be something that brings the rest of the team together and helps get them kind of to that next level mentally to be able to overcome like the dog days of August and the playoff push in September. And when you're playing against teams that are looking already to next year or the year beyond, and you can continue to keep your foot on the gas so that you can get in the best position possible.
No breaks,
yes,
right?
to get. You would love to get one of the top two spots in the National League. I hate that 2 out of 3 round, the wild card round.
It's tricky, and it sets you backwards.
And if you game 1 is everything in those series. There's
everything.
There's only been one series that's gone 3 games in 2 years.
Ooh, that's a good stat, Jesse.
So
so where are we at right now? Where the Dodgers are still a half game ahead of us? Who else is?
Yeah, the Dodgers are 1.5 up. The Phillies are 2 up, and those are the tier 1 teams in the National League.
So are you saying that if this team can get to be a 1 or a 2, they're going to win the World Series?
No. But I'm saying
I think
they've got a really great chance at it if
are
they
we
do.
Just because of the differential in salaries, are we just going to sit here and never expect to win a world championship in baseball? Are we ever going to just say, yeah, I think we can do the whole blanket thing? Are we ever going to just put that on as fans, I think you always want to have high expectations, sometimes maybe even a little bit out there expectations. Lord knows we have no problem doing it with the Green Bay Packers. Expectations are Super Bowl championship all the time. With the Bucks, with Giannis, they are. With the Brewers, they've never have been. In the entire time I've done this show, which is going on 9 years now, we have never sat here and said, yeah, we're disappointed when they lose, but we've never sat here and said, yep, they should have won the World Series, or we're really bummed and disappointed that they didn't get it done. It's always, well, it's the market. Am I saying that, or you guys think I'm crazy?
When they lost Game 7, was that to the Dodgers,
it was
Jesse?
The Dodgers, yeah.
2018 Dodgers, yeah.
I think because it was the opponent and it was the massive market, maybe we thought that way, but that might have been the year where had we been a little more critical, and again, I don't cover the Brewers every day, so I don't feel like I'm as qualified as a Todd Rosiak or those guys would be. But that felt like, hey, you win Game 7, and you're in the World Series again for the first time since 1982, right? So I don't believe that. You always bring up, managed by a former Brewers manager, that the Kansas City Royals won a World Series, right? You just have to have it's not that different than the Packers Super Bowl drought, is it?
Yes. They never won one.
No, I understand that. But the drought of... I do.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Hey, I'm not the guy who was backing into the parking spot. I just want to make sure you know that.
No, I'm chill.
But during this drought that they have had, there have been... we talked to Ian O'Connor yesterday about his book on Aaron Rodgers. 2020, we all agree. When you get Tom Brady to throw that many picks... and you're playing at home even with a COVID-depressed crowd, you got to win that game, right? So it feels like they have given themselves a chance to have a chance. The Packers have and the Brewers have, but it feels like maybe the Brewers, some of those you didn't really think they were a chance.
Okay, so my question is, because I can assure you, 2020, 2021, Packer fans had that expectation and were violently disappointed when it didn't come. If the Brewers get to the playoffs and get beat in the NLCS or the NLDS, are we going to have that same level of gut-wrench disappointment? Or is it, well, this is just how it goes?
I don't know, Jesse. You tell me.
I think looking at it this year, the Brewers have already surpassed expectations from what you expected at the start of the season.
I just think that we're setting the bar too low. I do.
Coming into this season, I don't think we were. I think they have incredibly overachieved, and I love that they have.
Jesse. I agree.
Yes.
We all assumed it was going to be Cubs. This was going to be a tough year. You traded your star pitcher. Other guys injured. Yelich, you didn't know. You had a new manager. I totally agree. But now we're not. We're 9 games up.
I thought about this yesterday when I saw the news come down. And I think when the season is over, if the Brewers were to lose in the wild card round of the playoffs like they have the last couple of years, they lose to like the Diamondbacks last year. They get swept at home and they're out of the playoffs.
Okay.
I think in a week after that, we would look back and say that was still a heck of a season.
Okay.
Like, that was a great run for a team that didn't have any expectations coming into the year. In the moment right now, you expect them to get to the NLCS.
Can we ever in this market have the expectations we're going to win a World Series?
We can.
When is it?
I mean, they were the number 1 seed in 2018.
So 2018, we all were. That was the only time where we were really disappointed and disgusted, or not disgusted. That's too strong of a word.
I mean, when you're hosting Game 7 of the NLCS
Correct.
at home,
That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for making that.
Well, I did. Again, I was not the guy in the parking lot.
Why do you think I'm not mad at you? Why do you think I'm mad at you?
Kind of feels like it. I don't know why.
I look at all these past performances, and I see. So they lose to the Nationals in that wild card game with the error in right field.
Yep.
Nationals go on to win the World Series.
Trent Grisham.
They lose to the Dodgers in Game 7. They didn't win the World Series because Boston was so good that year. But a couple of years before that, they lose to the Cardinals in 2011. They go on to win the World Series. They lose to the Diamondbacks last year in the wild card round. They go and play in the World Series as an improbable 6 seed that barely got into the playoffs. Yeah. So I look at all of this and I say the Brewers are that close that if they can just get over the hump and win the first series, they could get to the World Series.
But we never want to put those expectations on it because we feel like we're always behind the 8 ball. Is that fair?
No, last year I had those expectations.
Oh, you did?
Well, after I said they were dunzo after.
Yeah, you said we weren't
didn't have those expectations then.
You got to beat when you have home field in the wild card or anything. You got to win those series, and they haven't done that.
Okay.
Again, I hate to compare them.
Oh God.
But you went into last season with the Green Bay Packers with minimal expectations. I expected 6-11. And then the expectation game changed. You always talk about the expectation game.
Yeah.
And if we are being realistic, before this Yelich injury, and that's what prompted this debate that we're having, but the way things were trending with this team and Jesse's Sports Centers telling us that they're, a game and a half out of the number 1 seed or what, all those different things. The expectations before the season, after trading Corbin Burns, after Benedict Council, as Jesse likes to call him, leaving for the Cubs, the expectations were not that they were going to be, how many games up are they in the division right now? 7?
9 up on the Reds and Cardinals.
Okay? Those were not the expectations. But now that they are where they are, just like the Packers where they were after waxing Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys, you're telling me you didn't go into that 49ers game? You didn't. You're sitting there in the fourth quarter.
House money.
Right. They're playing with house money too now, aren't they?
And I'm asking, why are we playing with house money? We're really good. The organization's really good. And I feel like we just give a pass because, well, the Dodgers payroll's triple what we are, or the Yankees payroll. And if that's the case, and that's why this week when the Brewers lost 2 games, and everybody's saying it's not fair. I'm kind of like, well, you can't have it both ways. Like, it isn't fair, but it's the system you're in, and other teams have found a way. It takes more. You don't get to make mistakes on a big contract.
Margin for error is small, yes.
But if you're hitting and you're in position, we get the biggest lead in the league, I think, right, with 9 games?
Right, but that doesn't do you any good once the postseason starts, right? Everybody's equal.
It does do you good if you're a 1 or a 2 seed. You have to play in a wild card.
1 or 2 seed, it's good.
Yes,
I understand. But when we get into games, an elimination game, it doesn't matter that they won the division by the most games.
This whole conversation, and I love the fact that we've talked some Brewers. This whole conversation comes down to why are we always just going to have low expectations or never have championship expectations for the Milwaukee Brewers because they're in a small market? because we don't have the same revenue. If that's the case, fine. I don't know necessarily if we're actually giving the organization and the team enough credit for continuing to keep our expectations low.
Yeah,
we're never going to do that with the Green Bay Packers. I can assure you of that.
We're not, but they play in a league with revenue sharing where we don't have to talk that way.
Yeah,
there are no excuses for that.
Jason, I understand that, but in the same respect, we also have figured out ways to get great quarterback play, and that's a bigger domino to fall than the salary cap.
Microphone.
Than the salary cap stuff. So the Bears are looking at, that's why they're so disgruntled all the time, because they don't think it's fair that we keep getting great quarterback play. So organizationally, Matt Arnold and Stearns have done a great job of constantly restocking with good young players that we don't necessarily have to pay. That's the way we do it. The Packers have done it with getting great quarterbacks. Some of these teams feel the same way, even though it's their own fault. This isn't the Brewers' fault per se, because it's the league. But I just wonder if that's how we're vibing.
Yeah, I don't think when you play in a league the way this one is designed, I think it's always going to be, if you are one of those have-nots, which the Brewers and the A's and everyone else are in that rung, it will always be hoping they can win a World Series instead of expecting. That would be my opinion.
And my question is, should we expect? Or is it unfair to expect?
It's an unfair world, right? But it's really an unfair league, and you have the margin for error comment you made to me is the biggest thing. You can sign a guy that's a disappointment. You can lose guys to injuries. The thing that's impressive about this is that they have a 9.5 game lead with the injuries that they have had.
It's super impressive, and I think we've kind of suppressed it because.
But at some point, the margin for error, which was already small, will be unovercomable.
Good word.
I made that up.
I know you did.
All right, that has been unexpected but quality Brewers talk on a Packers-centric program. Kind of like Associated Bank. When you hear me talk about them, it's always about Packers checking. Well, today seems like a good day to remind you that they've got Brewers checking as well. In fact, the bank of our crew, they like to call themselves, and they've got the check deck. They've got everything out there at AmFam Field. So if you're a Brewers fan and you haven't made the switch in banks and you've been at some big national bank that you don't like, make the switch now and get Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Go to associatedbank.com/Brewers to find out more. And while you're there, you can find out about early pay, which allows you access to your direct deposits up to 2 days early, and the great customer service that Associated Bank provides. Check them out again online at associatedbank.com. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. All right, now take advantage of the Silverado Sales Spectacular at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Get more truck for your buck with up to 15% off select Silverado models. Plus 1.9% APR is available. Stop by the dealership on Main Street in Sun Prairie and check out all of the Silverado options to choose from. Zimbrick Chevrolet is Dane County's #1 volume dealer. And if you're in the market for an electric vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet has EVs. Save $7,500 now with the EV tax credit on the all-new and exciting Equinox and Blazer EVs. With a great selection of new and used vehicle inventory, plus their outstanding service team, you've got to check out Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Start online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com or stop on in on Main Street in Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
Let's not forget this is a second-round pick, A.J. Dillon was. Right? It's not like this was a low draft investment. And he's just never really taken that next step.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
While I'm not super out on A.J. Dillon or anything like that, it's just you need to see something.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And available wherever you get your podcasts.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
So, scheduled for this portion of the program, not that Tausch would know because he wouldn't have looked at the show sheet, unless it was printed out for you today.
It was not printed out, no.
Okay. So we were going to do our green and gold game preview because the Packers have a game coming up this weekend.
None of the starters are playing.
And we tend to discuss the Packers on this show because that's what we serve.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, if you could pick what they're doing today, the joint practice or the game, what are you picking to watch?
So, as I told Matt LaFleur last night, I would have liked
to Matt LaFleur last night.
Yeah, he asked me if I was going to be there, and I said no, but I wish I was. I should have gone next year when they go on the road. I think I should go.
What did he say?
He's like, I can't believe you didn't come out here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I'm wearing that. That was my oversight.
I don't think you like traveling as much as you used to.
I have not been on an airplane since they lost the NFC Championship game in San Francisco.
I just remember you being a little pouty about not traveling with the squad. Probably
2016.
Yeah, right. We started the show, and now I think you are kind of. I don't mind not traveling. I don't swayed.
That's fair. I don't mind not traveling, especially with all the girls' activities. But I also, believe it or not, do take pride in my job. And like today,
I know you do. Don't get all sensitive.
I know you know. I wasn't saying that to you. I was saying that to the audience.
Maybe I'm
sensitive. Self-deprecating line. Yeah. Well, maybe you were the guy driving. But the bottom line is today I'm not going to be very good at my job because I'm not in Denver. And there are very few of us in Denver. And so there's going to be stuff going on at practice that I can't tell you about.
Yeah, I wonder if they got all that smoke out of there with that fire out at Estes Park.
I did not ask Matt LaFleur that during our brief conversation last night, but I do appreciate him helping me with my Josh Myers story. So we'll talk about that a little bit later because we're talking Brewers right now. Brewers, turning up the heat. We're taking calls. We're getting texts.
Yeah, I just think that there is a bubbling amount of Brewers fans that are kind of let's raise the expectations a little bit.
Okay, so before we go any further, though, and before we get to our calls, I just want to understand.
We didn't even ask for calls. Right? I like that.
I like that. I brew that. Two things. One,
shout out Laney for grabbing me a coffee, too. Laney's the GOAT. Thanks, Laney.
Is our question if they're cursed, or is our question that we don't
cursed.
have high enough expectations?
I don't think we have high enough expectations. I don't.
Okay. Let's find out if our callers do. First, he used a pseudonym initially, and I'm not going to let him get away with that because he's a legend. He was part of the show, a vital part of the show, that led to this show. He is Bill Johnson.
Oh, Bill
in Beaver Dam.
William
Jefferson Johnson, how are you?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is Big Jim from Astico.
Yeah, no. Big Jim. Mm-hmm. How we doing?
Well, I'm good. I hope I didn't miss this. I was actually tending to my weasels that I bought at the meat auction the other day. Jesse,
sounds delicious.
I got a couple of things for you. First off, on a positive note, I love your commercial with 171 beers on the wall that I hear incessantly on the radio station that I listen to here in Astico. The notion of singing on a commercial is unique. You guys should try that more often.
Burn.
On a negative note, though, Jesse, you framed it as a positive, leaving the Brewers game when they're up 5-1 in the bottom half of the ninth. The top half of the ninth or the bottom half of the ninth? Top half of the ninth. So they're going to clean it up. Is it at least conceivable? And I know it's hard to believe, but is it conceivable that maybe Hobie Milner or Elvis Peguero would give up a run, and that you would, while you're walking out to your vehicle to beat the traffic, that you would miss seeing the best closer in baseball come in and shut down the Guardians? Is that at least a possibility?
Best closer in baseball needs to prove it in the playoffs first and not punch a wall before they get there.
Jeez.
If Hobie's coming into the game, I'm sticking in the seat. I'd say that.
But the best closer in baseball has had the first half of the season off, and didn't he just get rid of 3 former MVPs?
Yeah.
In 7
Shut him
pitches?
down.
I heard it in the car in Yount 4 as we were getting out of there. Yeah.
Like Ricky Vaughn blowing away Clu Haywood.
Well, and it's interesting you bring up Ricky Vaughn because Jesse wouldn't even get to his car in time to hear this. All right, Hobie Milner gave up a run. We've got Devin Williams coming into the game. Williams the other night, boy, I tell you, he mowed down Ohtani and Mookie Betts, and I don't remember what that other guy's name is, Jeff, but he mowed them down. So we're gonna go here with 1 out in the top half of the ninth, and Devin Williams up there. So you wouldn't even hear that, Jesse. You would be walking to your car when you would be telling you you'd be getting in your car when you could be saying, hey, how about that?
You hang out
Williams again with the big save.
You hang out by the door until the final out is made, but you get up out of the seat with 1 out in the ninth. So then you get a little bit of a head start, but not too much where you're missing anything.
I'm thinking you should just get out of there in the 7th inning. And then you can hear you calling the final out. You can hear the best closer in baseball shutting down the Guardians after Hobie Milner or Elvis Peguero gives up a run. You'd be in business.
So as much as I know you're auditioning for the next time we need Cousin Subs the Day again, why did you call? Because we'd like your opinion on whether the expectations are too low for the Brewers or not, and then we'd like to hang up on you if you don't mind.
That'd be great. I'd love to have you do that. I think Yelich going out really hurts them, not just from an on-the-field standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. And I would love to say that I think the Brewers have staying power, but just their pitching. I mean, and I love how Murphy's been doing it with smoke and mirrors. If he's not the National League Manager of the Year, it's a crime. It's more than a crime. It's a felony. But their pitching, I mean, their starters have been fantastic. This whole notion with having an opener, I don't know where he got that, but that's worked just about every time they've done it. But it's just, I don't know how long smoke and mirrors can hold up. I hope they can do it, but I just, boy, they're not my favorite going into the playoffs.
Well, there you go.
Bill, thank you for your insights and for your imitations. We'll keep you on the short list the next time Tausch goes on vacation. All right, Jesse, I don't know what you would like to do here, so I'm just going to ask you over the air. Do you want to play trivia? Do you want to get to more responses about the Brewers? What would you like to do since you're kind of the decision maker there in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios?
We do want to talk Packers at some point
we'll
before
do
a
that 10
preseason
o'clock,
game,
we'll
right?
do it at the
yes,
well, then we should probably play trivia so that we can get to all of our Packers stuff. Homer's on at 10:30 today, so we're running out of time if we want to get to everything we usually want to get to. So.
Thank you. I would love to play trivia, and it's timely trivia because we've spent all this time talking about the Brewers, so why not play Know Your Denver Broncos trivia? Awkward segue for 100, Alex. The Packers are going to have a joint practice with the Broncos today, so not that you would know that from today's program. Caller 12 right now, 844-770-3776. Caller 12.
I'm curious what they do Mountain Time. Are they going to do that 9 o'clock Mountain Time?
It is Mountain Time. It starts at 8:50 Mountain Time.
So that's
that Matt LaFleur is
here.
talking, and then practice, I believe. So I think it's the same schedule that they have been on.
Yeah, I tell you, Mountain Time is the best time. Like, it's a great time. Everything's a little bit later. You don't feel like you're missing a bunch of stuff. Mountain Time.
Well, since you're talking about Mountain Time, why don't you talk about the Blue Mountains of Golden, Colorado?
You know, the boys are
going
to head out there. They got a little downtime tomorrow after the big joint scrimmage that we're going to be talking about ad nauseum. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered. And, man, it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Bet you Jesse will have a couple at AmFam Field. I'm going to go play a little golf this afternoon. I'll probably crack me open a Coors Light, and I'll make sure I got the big, wide mouth, gosh, this thing is annoying. 16-ounce bottle. It'll be stainless steel, and the mountains will be blue. That's when I know it's chilled to perfection. That's why it's Coors Light when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. You notice how I have not complained about the microphone. So, yes, did I complain about old boy backing in?
You just said, God, this thing's annoying.
Yeah, but I didn't complain about it. I haven't complained about it.
It was on the air. We could hear you say it.
But that's not me complaining. That was just me reacting in real time.
Oh, reacting.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Reacting and complaining are different.
We need a compilation of all the times. Kind of like the Brian Balaga, Iowa compilation. Could we get a video compilation of all the times that microphone is
my guess is it's going to happen
fallen?
3 or 4 more times today because this thing is all over the place.
All right. Tausch will continue to persevere through all this adversity of today. We will play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. The Don, Barry Alvarez, appeared on the Great Dane Huddle Thursday night and is very impressed by what he's seen from the Badgers' offensive line in practice thus far.
A year ago, we talked, and I told you I went to practice a couple times. There was a breakdown every snap in the offensive line. You can't run an offense if that happens. I didn't see that when I watched practice this week. I saw the line is secure. You know, they covered people up. They ran the ball well. They were throwing it around. I think it looks like a very efficient offense.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Rick was at risk for a stroke, but now he's taking steps to reduce that risk. He checks his high blood pressure routinely to keep it under control. He exercises 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week to get his heart pumping. He also calls the Wisconsin Tobacco Quit line to help him manage his nicotine cravings. Did you know 80% of all strokes are preventable? Be like Rick and reduce your risk of stroke. Good job, Rick. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Coverdale Stroke Program.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to one of the most controversial basketball stars about his road to redemption. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have a dog, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless Ready-to-Drink Cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Discover a new generation of Audi featuring the all-electric Audi e-tron models. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires August 31st of 2024. Stop in and test drive today. The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Check out our website to see our current qualifying inventory. Start your adventure at Zimbrick Audi of Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Time for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. Been a while since we've heard from him.
What's Jerry been doing?
He's in the Hall of Fame conversation. I don't know if he's a first ballot guy or not. He's a busy guy, you know. Sometimes we don't hear from him for long stretches.
So the Packer Hall of Fame thing is, I believe, is it next Wednesday or is it 2 Wednesdays?
It's a great question. I'm just trying to get through today.
Is that not when we're going to announce? Like, you have some stuff that you got to get done.
Yeah, I didn't. I have a homework assignment from one of my teammates on this show that I got a little bit of a start on this week, but still have to complete.
I hope that's my assignment I gave you.
It is.
Okay, good. Because once school starts, I don't think you're going to get that done. So
correct. So thank you. I appreciate your encouragement.
You're welcome.
But I don't think I'm on the same timeline as you for the Hall of Fame. So
Well, I know we haven't talked to any Packers yet, but once the season starts, you ain't got time for no Wilde and Tausch Hall of Fame. I'm just telling you.
Correct. I know. So, I'm going to do it after the Super Bowl, just like they announced the class at the NFL Honors before the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna tell you it's a missed opportunity, but let's get to our trivia contestant.
Let's welcome in our contestant, Hall of Very Good at minimum. It is Jerry in the Prairie. Jerry, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Are you offended by the Hall of Very Good?
No, I'm fine with that.
Thank you. You just improved your stock a little bit.
I feel like Jerry's, like I believe thoroughly that someone from the jump, and I think Jerry's been with us since the jump. Jerry, have you been an 8-9 year guy, or is it a little bit? Is that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jerry needs to be in that conversation, big time.
Don't confuse longevity with productivity or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's see how trivia goes for you. There's no correlation between how many you get right and where you stand in the Hall of Fame balloting.
But it wouldn't hurt.
It would help. Yeah, winning a lot helps. All right, Jerry, in addition to playing college football at Oregon, at which other school did Broncos QB and first-round draft pick Bo Nix play before transferring to the Ducks? Is it Penn State, Auburn, or BYU?
No, that's
boy.
not.
Did I butcher that?
Nailed it.
that was a good answer.
BYU. Come on, man.
My man.
What did you even say?
Booyah. I said booyah. I thought it was a booyah. Oh.
And the microphone is down again.
Well, isn't BYU Baraboo University?
That's if you're in the circus. Yes, that's a circus university.
Yep.
Did you want those? Did you need those choices again?
No, he's got it.
Okay.
Jerry's got it.
Jerry, what's your guess?
Auburn.
Yes,
Well
sir.
done.
Booyah!
He is like Brad. He has been around. He's like Brad Davidson and Aaron Kraft. It feels like he's been around college football
Billy Douglas.
forever.
Yeah. All right. Question 2.
BYU was so good.
It was.
I butchered that. Hey, it's on me. I'm Trumaning it up here. Butcher job by Old T.
I have to assume sometime around Halloween, though, there'll be trivia, and Boo You will be brought back. Question 2, Jerry, is this. Broncos guard Quinn Miners, who just signed a contract extension in the offseason, played college football at which WIAC school? Was it UW Oshkosh, UW Stevens Point, or UW Whitewater?
Oh, this is another total guess. I'm going to guess Whitewater.
Your guessing is Hall of Fame caliber. 2 for
right.
2.
Yeah, he's on it. Hall of Fame. I think Jerry needs to be in that conversation, Jason. Last one. Which player scored the only Broncos tutter in Denver's 19-17 win over the Pack last season? Is it Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, or Samaje Perine?
Close.
No, I hit it.
Booyah!
Let's go with Sutton.
Dude, did you guess at all three of these?
I wonder if he's laying in the weeds a little bit. Because I think he might be playing it sly like a fox. You know what I mean?
Well, here's my reasoning. I remember Sutton playing well and last year against the Packers. I didn't remember if he scored or not. And the Whitewater's a better football school than the other two, so that's why I guess Whitewater. So there's always a reason.
Mm-hmm. Well,
there's a reason for the season.
An educated guess, if you will, and it yields 3 correct answers. That means you've got 4 entries into, for a guy that didn't really want to have to do any of the work on the Hall of Fame, you sure try to influence the voting.
Yeah, I'm going to be like Peter King. I'm just going to sit here and comment on all of it.
You also told me I can only induct 3 people, and you're pushing for like
5.
8 of them.
I said 5 in the inaugural. 5.
No,
and then it
you
goes
said
3 after.
and then I had to push
5
for
inaugural,
more.
3 from then on in. That's my recommendation. But this is your baby. Let's not fight in front of Jerry. Potential.
Don't fight in front of the potential Hall of Famers.
It's pronounced P-Rhine, by the way.
P-Rhine. That's what I said.
P-Rhine.
You said Perrine.
I said Perrine. Maybe I don't know. Hey, it was a bad trivia. Listen.
It's great trivia. Hall of Famer got them all right.
Yeah, I stunk. I wasn't my best.
But you fixed your microphone, which is
that's not going to be here for long.
Really, what matters. All right, we will. Thanks, Jerry, for playing. We wish you luck. If you would like to be in the Wilde and Tausch inaugural Hall of Fame class, Tausch will keep pushing for you. Thanks.
All right, I appreciate it, Tausch. Thanks, love you guys.
Oh, the love you too.
Love you guys.
Who would have guessed when we started this show some 8-9 years ago that we'd have a list and the battles it's going to take to get into this Hoff? I would have not guessed that at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
agree.
couldn't be happier about that.
We've exceeded expectations, including Aaron Rodgers, who thought we'd only last a year. All right, we have Matt Coonan, another Hall of Fame candidate. Can Tausch please read the
I feel like unless Coonan drops off, I feel like Coonan can get fitted.
Question in a pirate voice. And my question about Matt Coonan.
Maybe when Livy Dunn's boyfriend is pitching for the Pirates, I'll do that.
All right. Well, that's the end of the 10 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock hour.
Paul Skenes.
Booyah.
Yeah. All right. I would really like to get to the Packers.
Well, let's get to it.
We will get to that during the 10 o'clock hour, which will begin in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new tavern-style pizza. Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to try this delicious new creation from Pizza Hut. It's an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. You can cut it into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Go thin on crust and big on flavor. For a limited time, get a large specialty tavern-style pizza from Pizza Hut for just $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder. Go get the new tavern-style pizza, only from Pizza Hut.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Boo you! Good morning, Madison. Streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers, 6-4 winners yesterday over the Los Angeles Dodgers. That means the Brewers, after their 4-game set, which was a split, 2 games apiece, remain 1.5 back of the Dodgers for the second best record in the National League. The Phillies have now surpassed the Dodgers, 2 games up on the Brewers for the best record in all of the NL. The Brewers facing one of the best teams in the American League this weekend as the homestand continues at AmFam Field. 7:10 first pitch tonight. Fastball Freddie Peralta on the mound as the Brewers host the Cleveland Guardians for the first of their 3-game weekend series. Meanwhile, football, the Green Bay Packers participating in a joint practice with the Denver Broncos as they get set for Sunday night's second preseason game. Rob Domofsky, ESPN's NFL Nation reporter, has all the latest over at ESPNWisconsin.com. We'll also continue to preview it coming up on Wilde and Tausch right here on 100.5 ESPN. College football 2 weeks from tonight. The Badgers kick off the season at Camp Randall Stadium hosting Western Michigan. If you missed Barry Alvarez on the Great Dane Huddle last night, check it out on Wisconsin On Demand.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Later indeed, Matt Carney. It is the 10 o'clock hour. Sooner or later, we were going to get to Packers talk. And I say that with all due respect to that Brewers conversation, because that was really good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't. It's just a little bit out of my lane, and we enjoyed our time out of that.
It's in the bus lane.
Well, yeah, and you're not
lane.
allowed in it usually.
Can't go in there. You can only sneak in there if you're making a left-hand turn.
But we will we'll circle back to some of your text messages a little bit later in the show. But time now for the Green and Gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the Green and Gold game preview.
The Green Bay Packers getting set to visit the Denver Broncos in preseason game number 2 on Sunday night. You know, I just realized the Brewers are actually the bus in the bus lane. We can hop on the bus to get in that lane when we want to. Otherwise, we stay in the other lanes.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah. All right. Packers-Broncos on Sunday night. Fellas, what is the big storyline heading into preseason game number 2, Tausch?
Yeah, I mean, the starters aren't going to play. That's been abundantly obvious. So then you start looking at depth, and you start looking at, I always look O-line. I think that second safety spot, are any of those young guys going to play? Is Bullard going to play?
Yes, I believe he is.
My guy Johnson, is he going to play? I would think yes. So you'll start seeing a little bit.
My guy Johnson?
Yeah, 36. My guy. I
didn't know he was your guy.
Well,
Anthony
I like
Johnson.
I don't think he's gonna. I love the comments that we've heard from Matt LaFleur early in camp, but it's big work ahead to try to, I think, get Bullard out of that equation. I think, is it Evan Williams, right?
Williams, yeah. My guy. My guy Williams.
He's obviously had a heck of a camp too, so that's a position that everybody feels really good about. But I think, do you feel good about having one of these guys emerge? And I know people are like, stop talking about swing tackles, please. But I do think it's important to see if there is somebody else that you feel confident about, because you're going to dress 7 O-linemen, maybe 8, but I'm guessing 7. Who's going to be that guy that you feel good about? Or is it just going to be, we will rotate and find a way to get through that game and then we'll adjust? You liked what you saw a little bit last week. It's just, I think that's why these joint practices are so interesting, because you're going to get some one-on-ones. And I know LaFleur is not doing one-on-one wideout.
He is not.
Because he doesn't want all the scrapping. I don't love that. Let him scrap a little bit. But the O-line, D-line, you're going to see it. And I think it'll be really interesting to hear back from whomever is out there to let us know how those guys are holding up against Denver's starters, because that's who you need to block. And if you could take that step, I think that's something that I'm intrigued by on Sunday.
So I know that swing tackle talk is not sexy.
Is it wrong for me to just say? And I know, listen, man, I know we have a lot of avid Packer fans.
You're not into this.
Let's just get to Brazil. I mean, that's where I'm at, and I know it's wrong. And I'm somebody that needed those preseason reps to get there, and we did it. But we did it. But Jason, we did it though. We had to play. These guys aren't playing. Yeah, get mad back there, Ruffles. Yeah,
Ruffles. Stella.
Ruffles. You got a new dog.
Guess we know what the name of the Tauscher dog will be when it arrives. I understand.
Only if the dog has ridges. Am I right?
I can't decide if that was good or not.
Oh, I think it was pretty good.
I'd name one Cheeto
kind
instead.
Kind of low-hanging fruit there.
Get a little corgi, name it Cheeto.
All right. Can we get back to the Brewers? I understand that the swing tackle stuff has not been sexy to talk about. I try to explain why it's important.
But I also want to make sure I'm talking to our audience.
I understand. Yeah. I agree with you. But here's the thing. And this has been something that I have struggled to understand. And that is, if you can only have so many guys active, and you drafted a guy in the first round who was a college left tackle, the fact that Adam Stenavich has confessed publicly, not confessed because he doesn't have a problem with it, Jordan Morgan has not taken a single solitary snap at tackle all camp. So he can't be the swing tackle, right? Because he has to practice it. Don't you think?
I think you'll start seeing, and I think the issue is if you're going to be the starting guard, you need to take all the reps at starting guard.
Right, because he's never played that position.
And you're not going to ask Sean Ryan to play left tackle.
No.
Right? So I think that is what's made me to believe, he's going to get that spot. Ryan's going to be your backup at all those spots.
But he's not your tackle.
No. But that is not to say that Jordan Morgan can't at some point get thrown out there. It is not going to be ideal. But if nobody emerges and takes that step, then the question is Elton Jenkins at left tackle, or are you going to go Jordan Morgan?
Right.
I don't know the answer to that. I would think Elton Jenkins with his versatility. But if I'm Elton Jenkins right now, I'm also saying, nah, man, I'm going to stay at guard, and I'm thoroughly convinced that he's going to be your center next year. I'm thoroughly convinced.
I know you are. All right, so my storyline for me, and again, this is a backup job. I understand the starters aren't playing, or most of the starters aren't playing. But I keep bringing this up. 68 different starting quarterbacks 2 years ago, 66 last year. Jordan Love was one of 9 quarterbacks to not miss a start last season. Sean Clifford, who has played well in games but has been inconsistent in practice, needs to play well again to make people feel better, especially the coaches feel better, about we can get through a couple of games if something happens to our guy. So I want to see him play at a higher level than we have seen him at times in practice. Next
up in our green and gold game preview, who is the most important player you will be watching for this weekend?
Well, the problem is I don't know who's all going to be playing. That's the tricky part to this. Is Lucas Van Ness playing? Jason?
I think so. I think
so if he's playing,
he's not a starter.
He's not a starter. I loved what I saw last week. And I think he is going to get more and more time. I said it last year when they drafted him. He had his floor. Not to get back to ceiling floor talk. But he had his floor, and he is just going to keep climbing up. I think he's going to have a big boy year. And I want to see what I saw last week. Same thing with Devontae Wyatt, if he plays. Building off of that, because I think we all felt really good about what we saw in the limited amount of reps. Mm-hmm. Now, at this point, young players, I want consistency. I don't want it to be 1 week on, 3 weeks off. I want to see it every blanking time you're out there, and that's what I'm hoping to see.
I mentioned this yesterday. I wish I would have talked to him sooner, but I appreciate the fact that Sean Ryan admits that he needs to get in better condition.
Oh, wow.
And the fact that his line coach, Luke Butkus, said, effing get your A in gear, and he has taken that to heart. He doesn't seem, Tausch, to be embarrassed by the fact this was put out there. He seems, from our conversation with him, motivated and to be accepting.
And that's what I said. You asked, how do you handle this? And you can go one of two ways.
Yeah.
You hope that that's the way he goes. So kudos to him. I know that's a blow to the ego, but I think he just cares about playing and wanting to get out there. And being able to play consistent football is what coaches are looking for. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a road grade mauling fool to play in this league. You need to be consistent, and the coaches need to know this is what we're going to get. If I'm going to get an 85 grade from him, that's great. If that's what you're going to give us, awesome. We'll figure the rest of it out. And I think for Sean Ryan, when he's played, he's been pretty doggone good. Physical. He's got a lot of the attributes you're looking for, but he hasn't been consistent enough. And when the coaches call you out on it, you either cower and pout or you rise up and win. And hopefully that's what he does.
Yeah, so I really respected that about him. And he's running extra gassers after practice, even when he's dog tired. Well, that's what you need to do. So he's answering that call. But they played him a ton because he needs to get in football shape, which is hard to believe, but that's the case. So I expect him to play a crap load of snaps again on Sunday as they try to get him ready to be that top backup, because I do not think when they publicly question your conditioning that you're going to win the starting job that is available.
Seems like that's not going to be the case, no.
Next.
Last up in our green and gold game preview, besides avoiding significant injury, The Packers will say Sunday night's game in Denver is a success if what? Tausch?
Nobody gets injured. You said besides.
Avoiding
in
injury.
addition to, I think Jason's point on Sean Clifford is good. Consistency. You're going to hear that from me the rest of this preseason because that's how you emerge and take roster spots, is by being consistently who you are as a player. If you're good and you can do it on a consistent basis, coaches are going to love you. But I want to see a turnover or two. That's what we're preaching. That's what Jeff Hafley's pounded on. We saw it last week. Continue to build because this stuff is snowball city. You're out in avalanche country. Let's get a little avalanche. That might be my headline if we're doing those today because I haven't thought one yet. Turnovers. Continue to emphasize it. Get what you're emphasizing, and let's see some against a team that doesn't really know what they're doing at quarterback yet. I know it's Booyah University. I think that you are ripe for the picking when you're talking about getting some picks. Am I right?
You are right, and Evan Williams, who played with Bo Nix at Oregon, was talking about this week as well. All right, for me, the one that I'm most interested in, they've got themselves a little bit of a pickle at running back because Marshawn Lloyd has missed time with a hip and now a hamstring, but you're not cutting a third-round pick and having someone claim him.
You could pup him, or you not pup him. You
can't pup him.
You can't pup him. You can put him on IR. Yeah.
Right, but you got to have him on the roster for the first day after cuts. Emmanuel Wilson has been impressive, and A.J. Dillon has been defensive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many running backs you can keep, but I think they will say this was a success if A.J. Dillon comes out and has a good, productive bounce-back game and silences the Twitter critics as they were by playing well.
I can't wait to hear his grade. Like, I want him to give us a grade that he has from every game now that he put that out there last week.
I graded out at a 76.
Yeah, it was good.
Tausch.
I think somebody backed into his parking space that day. I think he was just completely thrown off guard and completely out of character.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
It was a goofy deal.
Sounds like he's going to be lucky to have a parking space in a little bit if he doesn't grade a little higher.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well,
he got a 98%.
That underground parking, they got all kinds of space.
They got a lot of space, yeah. They also have a lot of space in your parking lot at Fortria, so you can line up for opportunities to save or to make some extra money.
Oh, indeed they do. And if you wanted to head out to Estes Park, and trust me, you're going to need some extra cash if you go there, old Fortria Clinical Trials has you covered. Couple of different studies. Healthy men, age 18 to 55. Body mass index, 18 to 32. Study, 1 stay, 6 nights. Compensation, $3,290 for your time and participation. Another one, if you're looking to get a little bigger chunk of change, well, healthy adults ages 18 to 60. Body mass index 18 to 32. 1 stay, 14 nights, 11 follow-up visits, but $13,006 will be provided for your time and participation. If you refer a friend for that study, you get another 400 bones in your pocket. Head to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
So, Jesse, did you track down this audio that piqued Tausch's interest?
No. No indication of where it came from.
Well, then I'm not sure I want to do this next topic because
you're here. Why don't
without
So Jason Wilde on
here
Good
we go.
Karma,
Tausch is going to tease us out.
Or on Sunday Karma, on Good Karma brand.
Sunday Karma.
With Craig Parmesan was talking about X, and he made a comparison that blew my mind.
Like Twitter?
No, on X, Xavier McKinney. He made a comparison that made me think we're winning 6 Super Bowls if this guy can do what Jason said.
They didn't win 6
Sunday
Super Bowls
Karma.
with the guy I compared him to.
We'll talk about that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, and with the start of the football season right around the corner with another preseason game taking place this weekend, I'm feeling good on this Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Holman Lindsay Quality Paints not only has the bold green and gold colors of our favorite team, but every color you'll ever need. Remember, Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint. And be sure to ask for it on your next project at any of Holman Lindsay's many Madison area locations. A Wisconsin legend for more than 6 decades, Holman Lindsay is the only paint made and mixed in Wisconsin and for Wisconsin. Check them out at HolmanLindsay.com. That's HolmanLindsay.com. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. Shop local, buy local. Holman Lindsay Quality Paints. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer! No, it's a 2-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game!
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Lettering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow.
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
With the incredibly spacious 3-row Chevy Traverse, you can change
"Let's just meet at the concert"
into
"Why don't I pick all you guys up on the way?"
The advanced safety engineered Chevy Blazer EV lets you turn "You think we should turn back?" into full steam ahead. And with the affordable Equinox EV,
"Keep an eye out for the next Charger, kids."
becomes
"Get comfortable, kids. We'll be home in 4 hours."
For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Just a point of order.
What is that, Wapner?
It's been quite a week
he
with
was
you.
on you.
When Tausch teases us out, like he does, on occasion.
You don't love that when I do that.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
I'm fine with that.
I always feel like it irks you a little bit, which
Well,
makes me really
no,
like
no,
doing
no.
it.
No, it feels like You only tease us out when you have kind of that mischievous thoughts on how the next segment's going to go.
Some grinnage, for sure.
So I'm just the point of order is, so when you tease us out, it's interesting that you never bring us back.
Well, I would. I was singing, and Jesse kind of, I think, numbed my microphone that is still standing.
Numbed your microphone? Is that a euphemism?
I don't know. What's a euphemism? All right, so I was looking through YouTube. I went down that rabbit hole yesterday, and I didn't know this. I don't know why Jesse didn't play this audio, because it was really good with Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma. And as happens a lot on social media, things get clipped, right, and aggregated.
Clippy. Yeah, clippy.
So I didn't get the full context, which I think sometimes is really good with you, actually, because it will shorten things up instead of the long-windedness. Okay, so
what?
Yeah, you've heard that right. You made a statement that I listened to in saying that you believe that Xavier McKinney can have the impact that Charles Woodson had for this team. That is what was said. And I think your point, high-priced, free agent, obviously different circumstances where Charles had very few teams coming after him. Xavier had a bunch. Green Bay outbid to get his services.
Correct.
He's a lot younger than when Charles Woodson got here.
Correct.
So all of those things are different, but Charles Woodson's impact on the Packers, we don't have a championship without him. He's a deep
No
boy.
doubt.
He was after his first year where he was a little bit ornery, to put it nicely. He figured it out and became a leader and really solidified his Hoffer status.
No doubt.
By winning in Green Bay. So you factor all that in. I thought, wow, Packer fans should be rejoicing. I know he's not going. Well, I don't know. Maybe he will be. He's not going to be as well decorated. But if he can be anything close to the impact that Charles Blanken Woodson had on the G&G in the mid-2000s, or 2009 up, we're all going to be uber excited. So
he had an impact let's remember, you guys went to an NFC Championship game.
in 7,
too.
Okay, fair.
And the idea that, well, let's do this, because I don't know how much of the conversation was clipped, as you put it, but here is the conversation and the reason I made the comparison to Charles Woodson, which you know this better than anyone because he ranks ahead of you on my all-time favorites list. When I use Charles Woodson's name, it is with deference, and I would never blaspheme using his name. So when I bring him up, it does mean a lot. Here is what I apparently said on Sunday Karma.
Where's Wilde?
I'm on the X train. I spent an extended amount of time one-on-one with him last week, and you forget he's 24. And Tausch is going to give me grief about this when he hears this clip, I'm sure.
Good preemptiveness.
But he reminds me he's younger. He's not as accomplished. I'm not saying he's going to become this player, but he gives me some Charles Woodson vibes.
Wow.
Like really confident, really knows his stuff, knows that guys are looking to him to try and follow his lead. Now, again, he's 24. He is nowhere near the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But I got that kind of, in talking with him, he's got a little bit of that presence, and we'll see if he develops that further and develops his game. But I really like everything that he's about.
So you're doing the stuff that you give me grief about.
Not at all.
No, you're not saying, but you're saying.
No.
That's exactly what Jesse, is he not saying, but he's saying?
Don't do this to Jesse, because then when he says, if he
gonna
doesn't agree with you, then you're going to say that he's scared of
You're going to become parking garage, Tausch, and we don't want that.
Parking. All right, Jason, but that's what you're doing.
So here's why
you like him. You sat down for an interview. He's obviously a leader. The Packers love. He's going to be a captain, would be my guess.
No doubt.
There's
if they
all
do
of
captains.
those things. So you love that. You love all of it.
All right, if I may, because we need to get to Homer.
Certainly.
So here's why the comp, in my opinion, is apt. And again, you heard all the caveats, right? He's 24. He's not where Charles was. He's not a Heisman Trophy winner. He's not already trending, and obviously once he got to Green Bay, became a surefire Hall of Famer. He hasn't done any of that. He's gotten 4 years in the league, so that's different. But one of the things that we have talked about when Charles has been on the show, I mean, he changed once he got on board, Tausch, he changed the culture of that locker room, right?
The defensive backfield.
Yes. And those guys started to dress like him. They started to watch film like him. They started to follow him around. He was not
glad
vocal.
They didn't practice like him.
Yes, because it was not frequently for a period there. But the bottom line is that he was such an influencer before we had social media influencers. He influenced that group. And it started with the defensive backs, but then it permeated the rest of the defense. And then it impacted the quarterback in a huge way. Rodgers talks all the time about the impact he had on him. So, again, I'm not saying that he is the same player, but when I think of Tramon Williams and how much Tramon Williams will tell you Charles influenced him. When I think of Nick Collins, and Nick Collins will tell you how much he influenced him. That is what I am seeing. First of all, he's got a bunch of young guys one of them's going to be the starter next to him. They've got 4 guys that are either rookies or a second-year guy at safety. It is not the Rudy Ford era anymore. So whether it's Anthony Johnson, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard, Katan Oladapo, and you got to even throw in the guy from BYU who I'm blanking on now. They've got a bunch of young guys. So he is influencing them. But Tausch, the biggest thing to me is he's influencing Jair Alexander. Like, that is something that the coaches have talked about. The impact of his arrival on a guy who was clearly a malcontent a year ago. So that's the stuff. And yes, he has to play at an incredibly high level to deserve any comp to Charles Woodson. But if he's changing culture, that's something that Charles Woodson did once he bought into the culture himself.
Yeah, and that's, I think, you make a claim like that, and obviously Carmi said, whoa.
Wow.
Wow. And he didn't do that often either. It's a bold, big thing because you're right. Charles made a monster impact on that group. And it isn't a coincidence that that group played a lot better. A, because Charles is a stud and a Hall of Famer, and he made a ton of great plays. But I just think the confidence and how they approach things changed. The professionalism changed. Mm-hmm. And Jair last year, there was no professionalism. I mean, you don't go and do a coin flip and you missed a bunch of time. So in that regard, again, I'm always leery when people are making these claims and when they say, I'm not saying, but I'm saying. I understand your point that he has made that change already in 3-4 months. That's impressive. Now, are we going to make tackles when running backs get 6 yards? Or do we have guys that all this other stuff's cute? Yeah, right. Hey, great. You wore a suit to the game. Yeah, awesome. You missed 6 tackles and you missed the drop pick. Okay, not awesome. So the safety position, if it's as good as we think it's going to be, this defense is going to be so much better. And that's where you get turnovers. Yes, you think corners and everything else. Safeties are your difference makers. Leroy Butler, Nick Collins. You can go through the list, and it's small. That's how you make big plays, and that's game-changing plays. Savage made one last year. He should have had 2.
Right.
And if you make that play, you win. That's the difference. And so if he is making that difference, I'm still not going to go as far as you where you make that comp, but I love the fact that you brought that up and let us know from inside the locker room that that's how he's viewed already. And the fact that you can get someone that's been here for 5 or 6 years and gotten a big, fat contract, and he's listening and being receptive and maybe going to play better because of that, tip the cap again to both X, and I'm also going to give my guy Goody some credit for identifying and getting a guy that's 24 years old in his prime that has that leadership capability. If it flips as quickly as it does, you could say, well, Goody went and took a position of weakness and turned it into a position of strength in one year.
In one off season. Yep.
Pour me in, coach. I think that's a pretty doggone good deal.
We got to get to Homer. I wonder if he'll be as annoyed as Evan Cohen was with how late we got to him yesterday. Want to remind you before we get to Homer that the DeWalt and Craftsman deal days are back at Fleet Farm. You can shop in-store to find exclusive deals on their huge selection of the best power tools and accessories that you can trust for any job. The deals only last until Sunday, though, so be sure to hurry in during the DeWalt and Craftsman deal days at Fleet Farm. And Fleet Farm's free Touch a Truck and back-to-school craft is taking place on Saturday, August 24th, so a little over a week from now, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring the family out for hands-on learning about their favorite service vehicles, along with a fun and creative school bus crafting activity. Learn more about the free Touch a Truck event at fleetfarm.com/events. Uncle Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Summer is winding down, so that means it's back-to-school savings time at Metro Kia Madison. Lease the 2025 Kia Seltos for only $249 per month for 36 months with $3,499 due at signing. Enjoy 90 days deferred payments to qualified credit and offers, and even get an additional $1,000 for your trade into qualified vehicles and offers. With 95 vehicles on the lot, you can find the new Kia of your dreams today at Metro Kia of Madison.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew, because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time.
Collect a Bob Uecker Harry Doyle bobblehead at the Brewers game on August 17th, courtesy of Chevrolet. Inspired by Uecker's legendary role in the film Major League, the first 30,000 fans through the gates will get this special bobble. Get your tickets at brewers.com/giveaways.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball and Miller Lite.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truck Star Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truck Star is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truck Star Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Homer on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right.
You know what that music means. Packers-Broncos practice is underway in suburban Denver, and our conversation with Uncle Homer is underway, as we do each week, usually on Wednesday, but he was on assignment. The host of the Homer Hour, the voice of Marquette men's basketball, and doing the Lord's work on God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I was at Pip's golf tourney on Wednesday, which is why I wasn't there. I'm not at all bothered to be late because I needed extra time. I was delivering my Gary Player memorabilia. Historic, because at an event for Life Navigators, which is another great group on Monday, I donated a picture artwork signed by Gary Player. And nobody bid on it, or they only bid like 110. I go like, no, Gary Player's worth more than that. I'll not be an event, so I bid like 130 or something. And so I believe I would have got a record for buying your own item back that you donated. I don't know how often that happens at a auction, but a very good person, Larry, overbid me, so I was delivering it to him right now. And so I cannot say I purchased my own item at a charity event yet.
Well, kudos to Larry.
We had golf with Homer and Pip at Pip's event, and I bet $500 and said, you ain't playing golf with Homer for less than $500, Homer and Pip.
Yeah, you ended up playing with yourself, didn't you?
No, so fortunately, I gave so much guilt. They wanted to play with with Pip. I said, look, you get to play at Lac LaBelle. You don't even have to play with me. You can kick me out. And then somebody bid $600. So I don't know if they want me to play or not. But I don't. Have you? You've done it, Tauscher. You know of anybody who donated an item and then bought it back because they didn't think it went for high?
Yeah, I remember when we did our trifecta outing, and I put 5 minutes of airtime with you, and you didn't even bid. You just ripped it up because I didn't ask. I didn't ask you if we could do that.
I think that's possible. And
what?
I also, since we're doing
silent
golf,
auction item.
Yes. That's
you
the
silenced
famous
it.
event where Bubba Franks bought every item.
Bubba was the GOAT that day. Yeah. If you ever,
he bought a golf cart, a guitar.
Bubba was the GOAT. I mean, thank you. Trifecta Foundation has always told Bubba he's welcome anytime.
You ever see Bubba?
You know what? He was on a tailgate tour. That was probably 3 or 4 years ago. But
okay,
he
so if you see him at the Alumni Association, tell him that he held the all-time record. That was the greatest performance ever.
Somebody beat it.
Greg Vaughn of the Brewers at a event for Major League veterans, 10 items. He bought 9.
No, that's good.
So
it's a good hitting percentage.
After he buys 8 of 9, I go, people, are you going to let Greg Vaughn buy everything? They let him buy the
And
last
they said
one.
absolutely.
So he trumped Bubba. Did I tell you about Ernie Els?
No, let's hear about it.
Okay. So I got to play with Ernie Els at the AmFam.
Did he pay $500?
Hold on. The generosity of someone, but it's funny you mentioned that because that's part of the story. So he's the nicest guy in the world.
Uh-huh.
He is nicer than Mr. Rogers. I compared him to Bonnie Blair, which offended some of the group that I was playing with. You just told Ernie he reminds you of Bonnie Blair? Yeah, but that doesn't matter. So I said, Ernie, you're just so nice. I'm playing at a charity event on Monday for Camp One Step. It's for kids that have cancer, that other kids, it's just the greatest group ever. And we're playing at Blue Mound where Gene Sarazen won a major. You got to come Monday. He goes, Homer, I got to be with my family.
You got to come.
And I said, yeah, because he's such a nice guy, and it's right in the area. You're only a few miles away. The tournament ends Sunday. He can come to Milwaukee on Monday. He says, Homer, I want to be with family. I said, come on, Ernie. Everybody says family. You could do better than that. So the guy that I'm with going, did you just say that to Ernie Els? I go, yeah.
I'm saying the same thing.
He goes, Homer, nah. And so his caddy says, what was your name again? And I go, Homer says, can you come over here? He said, you don't understand. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you asked Ernie to come to your event? Yeah. He says, that's $400,000. I said, what? He says, yeah, people pay $400,000 for Ernie to play in their event. I said, I'm paying $400,000.
No, you're not.
I go, $400,000? He said, I go, why? He says, well, it used to be $200,000. And I said, I got it now. He goes, what do you mean you got it? I said, yeah, he didn't want to do it. He was doing it at $200,000. Too many people said yes. Now he's at $400,000. Nailed that one, buddy. So I would have gone to Tausch. Jason, who should I have gone to if I needed $400,000? Like Ernie Els said he's going to play, and I just found out it cost me $400,000.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
A-Rod would do it. Ian O'Connor would, too, that big book advancement he got.
By the way, that book in there, and he tells a story about his mom and premarital sex and not having another hotel room. Isn't that in the book some way?
I haven't gotten the book
that
yet,
far into the book. What?
Yeah, that's not the only time that ever happened. That's all I'm saying.
What is that? I don't think I'm going to
get to have an extra hotel room for the girl he was with so his mom would believe they were in separate rooms.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What have you gleaned from that so far? He's been on WTMJ. He was with us. I'm not sure who else he's all been.
So, wait a minute. Did you read I got a digital copy sent to me. I have not had time to read it. You have read the book, Homer? Is that what you're telling me?
There's no way he's read the book.
When the
There's
first
no way
news
he's read
came out, that was one of the first stories that I saw.
He's heard the clips. He's not read the whole
book. It
book.
was over his family. I ain't reading it.
When's the last time you read a full book?
Helter Skelter, when I was recovering
1977.
From rheumatoid arthritis, somewhere in there, and I will never forget the book. It was about the Charlie Manson thing and by the DA who prosecuted him, because I cannot forget one line out of the book. In the book, the attorney says that someone was asked on the stand by the opposing attorney, have you ever been the victim of an unfortunate homicide? How can you forget that line?
An unfortunate homicide, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I don't have to tell you what the answer was, I believe. But anyway.
So you're telling me you're not going to read this book? Is that what you're saying?
No, because other people will, and they'll tell me the best parts.
Didn't you read the Perlman book on Favre?
I did.
Well, why the double standard?
You didn't read the whole book, did you?
Correct. I did not read the whole book yet. Nicely done.
You can't say you read the book if you only read clips.
Well, I mean, I read
Excerpts.
most of it. To me, if I read, and again, nicely done, Tasha, I feel like if I read 60% of the book, that's reading the book.
No.
Okay, so I read 60%.
He left the book in the 7th inning.
Yeah, something of that ilk.
So, would you like me not to say in the future, Tausch, that I read a book unless I read the whole book?
No, you could say, I browsed through, or I clipped a couple.
70% is more browsing.
I don't think.
But the answer to the question, I ain't reading the damn book. Somebody else will read it.
Okay.
And they'll tell me the best part.
Fair enough.
Unless I'm in the book.
You could possibly be in the book.
Not a chance in the world. No.
Probably not. But I said
and plus I'm irritated. This is all
What
crap.
are you irritated about?
Jason should have written the damn book.
Well, it's unauthorized.
I have another reason.
It's unauthorized.
Not to mention Richard Rogers. This is when he becomes Richard Dick Rogers. Like you say, it's unauthorized, but you were interviewed by the author. That's not how it works, you crazy man.
Well, you set the record straight on some things.
It's not unauthorized.
I will say,
unauthorized means the person being in the book never
did not cooperate.
I would say you give a lot of credibility to the author when you sit down with him. I would agree with you on that.
Don't say it's unauthorized.
Well, but
who the hell says that?
Aaron.
It's the first unauthorized biography in the history of humanity in which the person who's the subject of the book talked to the author.
Well, Charles Barkley, didn't he say he was misquoted in his own autobiography? So this stuff happens.
Yes, the misquoted part people could use. But, Jason, have you ever heard of an unauthorized biography? Because the first thing about an unauthorized biography is the person who it's about.
It's not authorized.
because they didn't talk to me.
No, it's not
How can you write a book about me and not talk to me? Of course, with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Jason can explain it.
Yeah, he did not. It's not like the Chris Havel, Brett Favre book. Favre for the record. Chris Havel wrote it, but it was Brett Favre. It was his book. It was his autobiography. This is not an autobiography. And as I said yesterday, when Tausch was offering me $1 million advance, which I find myself wondering, given how things have played out with Rodgers in recent years, how big would the advance be?
Ian O'Connor got more than that.
Yeah, if it was the Aaron Rodgers on the record, him writing the book or him having it ghostwritten by me, I wonder what the advance would be for that. Because I wonder what the appetite would be.
I would assume, Jason, you'd say, Aaron, I'll do it for nothing.
No, he wouldn't.
If I was Jason, I would do it for nothing.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, I already did a book for nothing. That didn't go so well. All right, so my point is this. My point is this. I am curious to see how this book sells. There are aspects to things that he talks about on his various podcasts and whatever else that I'm not comfortable with, so I'm fine.
Can I ask you a question? Why do people buy books? Why do you buy a book? Like, you can go to the library and read it. I'm always amazed when people you got like a trophy case in the back. Oh, I read The Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, great. Put it back and let somebody else read it.
Same with buying DVDs.
It's a good Christmas gift.
Give them a library membership.
Buy the book to make some money for the people. I don't know. I want to read it now. Maybe
all right.
No, but I'm being dead serious.
I know you are.
I know you are.
But you're asking a guy who hasn't read a book since Helter Skelter, so I don't know why you're asking him. I want to get to something that Tausch brought up earlier in the show.
What you would spend on books, you should donate to your local library. How about that for
Trifecta Foundation?
It's too late.
You mean it's too late? No, people still like reading books.
Don't want the book.
Yes, they do.
All right, both of you, stop.
You don't even read books.
That's why this is ridiculous that we're doing this.
Stop!
No, libraries aren't going away at a White Buffalo. They're not.
They are with the books are going away. All right,
Tausch had a really good question about the Brewers to start the show. And I don't want to have this segment end without you posing it to Homer.
Put it in a book.
Whoa, Nelly!
Hope your microphone breaks again.
Okay.
Be a great book. I'd do that one for free. I've already done most of the reporting on it. Look, Tausch thinks that we have too low of a bar of expectations for the Brewers winning a title because they're a small market team. Do you agree or disagree with that premise? And Tausch, if I'm misrepresenting that, please chime in.
No, it's fair.
There's nothing to do with the small market team. It has to do with the assessment of the talent on the team.
No, it's about the money and the payroll.
Fine. You could say why. Doesn't matter. They aren't anywhere near as good as the Dodgers or Philadelphia.
They're one game back of both.
Again, I rest my case. We're talking about 162. Let's get to the playoffs, big boy.
Don't call me big boy.
Let's get to the playoffs, big boy.
All right.
I thought
all right, old fragile.
Hey,
all right, old fragile.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess
gosh. So you don't think that
you can call me what John Daly did, you old fart.
Yeah.
Get the damn driver, you old fart.
Yeah, I don't. You've been around and you've been in the Milwaukee market forever.
Correct.
And to understand, the expectations are lower because people don't think it's fair and don't think we're on equal footing with what the Dodgers and the Phillies can do, because they can go spend $400 million on Bryce Harper or Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts. We can't, and we don't think that's fair. So if we are like David whipping that little what was that? What's that thing called? The slingshot.
Yeah.
And are we ever going to knock Goliath down? People don't think we are. So to give you a little biblical terms, there we go.
The year they made the 7th game and lost to the Dodgers, they had much better talent, the veteran talent.
Yeah, but you didn't crush. Now. Hey, you on your at that point you had a 6-hour show. Now you're down to an hour.
Correct.
But your 6-hour show. Hey, you say. Hey,
usually you're the one who lets them know.
So Homer, you did not crush the Brewers. God. like you do the Packers if they lost because you don't think it's on an equal footing.
No.
That's why.
No. Well, again, I love it when you tell people why they think what they think.
That is one of my favorites, too.
This is when you're at your best. The reality is, which you should be talking about if you're more positive, that the Brewers have a chance because baseball has had a different winner each of the last 7 years. The chance the Brewers have is baseball has now become where, like, anybody can win it. So, literally, that's
so
the
then
best
let's
thing
have
going
those
for the
expectations that the Brewers can.
What?
Not,
What?
oh, shucks, we can't beat the Dodgers because they got this. Well, we just beat them 2 out of 4, right?
Correct.
And we're in that position.
Hold on. What do you want people to think? And why
I
do
want
you
us
want
to
them
think, you know what, Brewers fans, let's go win a blanking World Series.
All right,
We're
here's
good enough.
The deal. The reason, if you want to know it, people don't care about the Brewers as much as
I
they care
disagree.
about the Packers. Well, you
Packers,
can say whatever
hey,
you want. Look
Packers
at the ratings.
will always trump. I'm not arguing that, but there is a big-time loyal Brewers following that I believe we set our bar lower because we can't spend the money that the other teams do. That's my
I told
thesis.
You, I don't agree with that, but I'm not in your group, so I don't count.
You're not going to join that club.
No.
So why are our expectations as Brewers fans lower than Packers fans?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the people
I
that
just
have
asked
it lower.
you. You've been in this market for 50 years. What do you mean you don't know?
The answer is
What a great answer,
because
Homer.
People have a greater passion for the Packers. When you have a greater passion, you create a higher standard. That's my answer.
There is a
That's
great.
me personally. I care more about the Packers.
I know
than
you
the
do,
Brewers.
but you also look at the Brewers. You looked at the Bucks, and I know there's a difference. I get that.
Jason, can I hang up so Tausch can tell people what I think? Because what I say doesn't matter to his opinion on what I think.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Hey, have a great weekend, Homer.
Bye, Homer.
I don't think he understood what I was saying. Or was he just not?
Let me give you a little help here.
Okay.
Reset that for us next, okay? Because I am inclined to agree with you, but I think he made it while you were giving him a hard time and telling him what he thought. I think he made a really good point. I'm not saying Brewers fans aren't passionate. I think sustaining passion through a 162-game season as opposed to through a 17-game season is a lot harder, and you don't sense that passion as strongly, and it's not as large.
But
and so I do think that creates a different expectation.
Okay.
Brewers fans can still chime in on this. I will be happy to read your texts, 844-770-3776. Tausch will recalibrate this conversation next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I've loved Pizza Hut for a long time, going back to when I was a kid, growing up participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I love that. And now Pizza Hut is changing the combo game with the new My Hut box. It's the ultimate solo meal. Starting at just $6.99, you can have your choice of a personal pan pizza or melts with a side of boneless wings or fries. You get to pick whatever entree and side you want, and you can add a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $1.50. The My Hut box is perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner on your own, or any time you're on the go. Sounds pretty good to me. Order the My Hut box today, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. The Don, Barry Alvarez, appeared on the Great Dane Huddle Thursday night and is very impressed by what he's seen from the Badgers' offensive line in practice thus far.
A year ago, we talked, and I told you I went to practice a couple times. There was a breakdown every snap in the offensive line. You can't run an offense if that happens. I didn't see that when I watched practice this week. I saw the line is secure. You know, they covered people up. They ran the ball well. They were throwing it around. I think it looks like a very efficient offense.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
I say, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back from around the way. It seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
Practice is underway in suburban Denver. I see a photo from Parker Gabriel. I'm not sure who he is or who he writes for, but he is at the practice, and he posted a photo. Oh, it's from the Denver Post. Sorry, Parker. Of Matt LaFleur speaking to reporters. I see Tim Van Voren is there. I see Matt Schneidman's tattoo on his hand or his arm. So Matt LaFleur underway and practice underway in Denver. We'll get to some more of our conversation.
I love the picture of Paula with Elmo.
That's me. That's me. Though.
I understand. It's just such a.
Are you just dumping the photo? Photo dump on the show
he
now?
posted a photo, so I legit
don't know if I've ever seen Paula happier than when she's sitting on old Elmo's lap.
Yeah, how often have you seen Paula?
I've seen Paula a bunch, and that is as happy.
When's the last time you saw Paula?
That's not Paula there.
No, that's me as Grover. If you're watching on the video stream with Rob Vogel
Look
and
at
his
how
lovely
happy
wife
she
Luann.
is there. She's got life
very
by
happy.
the you-know-whats right there.
by the Elmos. All right, Tausch, I did think Homer made a good point before we get to the 11 o'clock hour extremely late.
I mean, he said he didn't know.
No, not that. That was less. That was suboptimal. No, when he said about passion influencing expectations, do you not buy that?
No, I don't.
Because I thought it was pretty
I'm
good.
telling you right now, there's passionate Brewer fans. I know we deal with Packer fans on a much more high basis. And Packer fans, the Packers are more, there's more passionate Packer fans in this state than there are Brewer fans. Agree?
Yes. My question is the number, let's say they have an equal number of fans, okay, just for argument's sake. Let's say they have the same X number of fans, and there's the same exact number.
Okay.
The passion
Let's go
within
1,000, just to make it easy.
All right,
1,000.
sure. 1,000 fans.
Okay.
Within those 1,000 people, would you agree that the passion, the average passion percentage, the APP, is higher for that 1,000 Packers fans randomly selected than that 1,000 Brewers fans randomly selected?
I would not say if they're all passionate.
If they're randomly selected, they call themselves a fan.
Yeah, Jason, I've said Packer fans. There's more Packer fans, no doubt. Football's more popular. All of the things. No, I'm not missing the point.
Okay.
My point to you guys are, I just think with the Packers there are no excuses. It's the no excuses tour. Last year was the first time in forever that we had a chance where it was like, I don't think this team's going to win a championship. I don't expect this team to win a championship. Probably in your 28 years covering, there's maybe been 5 years that you didn't have. Most passionate Packer fans had that expectation.
No doubt.
And is that because we've had great quarterback play? Yes. All I'm saying is I think Brewers fans have looked at this and said, we have too many obstacles to overcome, a.k.a. the salaries. That's why we don't have the same expectations. I don't think it's a passion thing at all. At all. I think it's more of it's not happened. It's going to be tough. Everything has to fall our way. And you know what? It's just easier to kind of not have those expectations, be pleasantly surprised. That has never been the mindset as a Packer fan. That is the only thing I'm bringing up.
All right, well, bring up your Prize Picks and their new tagline that they got. I'm loving it.
Yeah, run your game. Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps, you can on Prize Picks, it's just you versus the numbers. All you do, pick more or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projection and watch those winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends. Become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks. With as little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to get that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Preseason football's underway. You can probably look at A.J. Dillon, some stats. I would think his projections would be good.
What?
Yeah, you probably look. I'm guessing A.J. Dillon's probably on Prize Picks.
You want to go with that?
I don't know, but I do know this more or less on the 2024 season stats on Prize Picks. Patrick Mahomes going to throw more or less 4,300 yards. Jordan Love stats. You got all kinds of different players. Enter your season picks before week 1 kicks off. Don't interrupt me again, Jesse. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI for first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Run your game.
We are running. We are running late. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. It returns tonight, 1 week before the start of the high school football season. Don't miss the Coaches Roundtable, followed by Dennis Semrau's No Huddle Preview. The coverage starts tonight at 6, goes until 9, right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. The Milwaukee Brewers winners yesterday over the Los Angeles Dodgers, 6-4 at American Family Field, so the team split their 4-game series. That means the Brewers in the same position they were before they started the series with the Dodgers, 1.5 back for the second best record in the National League, 2 back of the Phillies for the best record in all of the National League. Remember, the top 2 spots do get first-round byes in the postseason. The Brewers continue their homestand against one of the best teams in the American League. The Cleveland Guardians come to town, 7-10 first pitch tonight. Freddie Peralta on the mound for Milwaukee. Meanwhile, football, the Packers experiencing a joint practice with the Denver Broncos this morning as they get set for preseason game number 2. Sunday night, 7 o'clock kickoff Central Time in the Mile High City. Plenty more to get you set for the game. Rob Domofsky has it all. ESPN's NFL Nation over at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour at 11:14 begins now. Our guy, Rob Domofsky, who did not join us today. He's not in Denver, though. I can confirm that.
Was he golfing?
I can neither confirm nor deny that that's what's occurring right now. But
that's kind of irritating. Come on, Rob.
He's not on the show today.
No.
He's not contractually obligated, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fair.
But be that as it may, he did do a piece on ESPN.com and ESPNWisconsin.com about 2 first-round picks from the last couple of drafts, Devontae Wyatt and Lucas Van Ness. And both players, and it's one preseason game against the backup Browns offensive line. Rob acknowledges that in his piece. But both those guys, they had splash moments last week. I would be willing to bet if they're going to play this week, you're going to see their names across your television screen if you're watching a Sunday night preseason game, which doesn't work for your schedule. But these are guys that come. We just got done talking about expectations, right? We talk about them a lot. What are you doing?
Alex Gravatt is out there doing calf raises. Like just in the
Which when he does that, it makes him like 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
he's so tall.
Continue. I didn't mean for you. You always say don't get distracted. Well,
all right, I'm going to get my laundry then. So look,
that's fair.
Expectations. Expectations when you're a first-round pick are very high. You know that. We've talked about it millions of times. What are your expectations for these two guys? Because they have been front and center of this new system is going to be really good for these guys. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that premise, by the way, that Rob advances in his piece at ESPN.com and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Devontae Wyatt, it's not that he's put up bad stats. I think it's a consistency thing, and in this new system being disruptive, I think, the Lucas Van Ness, I guess the myth. Oh, he looks like T.J. Watt, I see somebody saying. Oh, he's Hercules. Oh, I think his ceiling is very high.
I agree.
And the beautiful part about that is typically when you have that, there's a little boomer busty. He's not going to be a bust because he's so strong. And because he, has already shown, even last year in a limited amount of time, he made some plays. I have super high expectations for him. I don't know how things are going to shake out moving down the road. Rashawn Gary's going to be here, and he's going to be somebody that you're counting on for big minutes. But it just that's what you love about what Goody's doing is he continues to supplement and bring people in. And Lucas Van Ness, I think, is going to have a breakout season. I don't know if you're going to see the monster stat numbers that you see with some of these guys because I'm not 100% sure where and when he's going to even be in. That's still yet to be determined, I do believe, especially in nickel. But you just sense with Rashawn Gary, you have other guys that are going to take up a lot of the opposing team's blocking scheme. You get these guys in one-on-one situations, both Devontae and Lucas Van Ness, you feel really good about winning that battle. And when you can have those guys, it puts a ton of pressure on opposing offenses. That's what I think I'm excited about is both of these guys hopefully living up to that bill, which does come regardless of what anyone else says. You need to be impact players if you're first-round picks. Otherwise, people will view you in a different way.
Well, I know this. Your first-round pick when you're driving is to have a full tank of gas.
Yeah, you're saying splish-splash plays. I was thinking, boy, it would have been nice if old girl splish-splashed that tank a little bit.
And not have to stop. But if you do have to stop, your other first-round pick is to stop at Quick Trip.
Yeah, this summer there's nothing quite like a stop at Quick Trip. And while I'm on the road getting an ice-cold, refreshing drink like a Coke. And this summer just got a whole lot cooler with Quick Trip and Coca-Cola. Play the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab Pull Tab game daily this summer in your Quick Rewards app. You can enter into the weekly winner drawing where Quick Trip is giving away a total $500,000 this summer. 10 weekly winners get $25,000 each, and one final week winner gets $250K. $500,000 given away just for playing the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab Pull Tab game on the Quick Rewards app. You can even earn extra chances to win by using your Quick Rewards every time you purchase a Coke, Monster Energy, Powerade, Body Armor, Smart Water, or Core Power Elite product. Download the Quick Rewards app today. See quicktrip.com/sweepstakes for full details. You know what irritated me? I forgot that it was the 15th yesterday. There was a sweet, sweet deal on my Quick Rewards app, and it went bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's on Old T.
Snooze, you lose.
It's on Old T. No, it's been a lot on Old T the last 2-3 hours here.
It has. Don't interrupt me, Jesse. So, what did you get, Jesse? Because you and I were both playing while Tausch was doing the read.
I got $2 off bacon wrapped chicken breast from the pull tab game today.
I got $1 off fried chicken.
Throw those on the grill. How exciting is that going to be for a nice? Hey, maybe are you tailgating tonight?
No, we're just showing up, getting into the stadium.
And then leaving early.
Yeah, well, no, we're staying till the end tonight, but no tailgating tonight.
How many
you ever
entries?
think about just putting it in like a Reynolds wrap and then putting it on your in your car and letting it cook while you're driving down, like they used to do back in the old days, like Kramer.
Who used to do that?
Kramer.
Back in the old days.
I think they do that on National Lampoon's Vacation too.
I have never once considered to cook meat in the hood of the car while driving.
Okay. Just curious.
Get very buggy. Although you did have the Reynolds wrap around it. Jesse, how many entries
you're not
are
just sitting a steak on top of like a manifold. No. I mean, come on. Don't be
ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. I just suggested you drive to Miller Park with your dinner on your hood. But no, I'm the one who's ridiculous.
Well,
You're
if he's
right.
not going to take a grill down and you wanted to do this from Quick Trip, it would be fun. I'm not going to recommend doing that.
Or
I
we
think
could
it's
just
dangerous.
stop at Quick Trip and get a chicken sandwich or a fried chicken or anything.
Right. Out of
you
the
didn't
hot
get
spot.
$2 off on that. You got $2
I'll
off
send you
I'll
my
make
coupon.
that at home on the grill like a normal person.
Okay.
All right, we need to get to our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week. We'll see if there's an update or two from Denver, where the practice is underway with the Packers and the Broncos. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
For love of the game
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
and love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
My Aunt Bella was telling a story, and her speech was a bit slurred. Her smile was drooping. Was she having a stroke? I knew it was time to run through the B Fast checklist. B, balance. Bella was fine. E, eyes. Her vision was fine. F, face. Oh, the drooping. A, arms. She could lift both arms. S, speech. Oh, definitely slurred. T, terrible headache. She had one. Signs of a stroke. I called 911 and saved Aunt Bella's life.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Covered Health Stroke Program.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
See it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding.
Everybody's a Steinhoffel Sleeper of the Week this week, as most, if not all, of the starters will not be participating in Sunday's game against the Denver Broncos, but they are participating in today's practice. We'll check the social media channel since I didn't go. I got FOMO today. Definitely have FOMO today.
Yeah, I think you should be out there.
Yeah, next year. But we do have time to do the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week, presented by Steinhoffels, which we do throughout the Packers season. One of the OGs, the original segments that we did from the very beginning.
Yep.
And, of course, Steinhoffels, every year, one of the original things they do are their Labor Day sales. But this one is Steinhoffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Save up to $800 on closeouts and amazing bonus buys like a Beauty Rest Queen mattress for just $299. Plus, enjoy Steinhoffel's 60-month financing, making bringing home the look you love easier than ever. But hurry, these Labor Day savings will not last long. So shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Time now for our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey. Okay, campers, rise and shine. It's time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week on Wilde and Tausch.
Time for our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week. We're not doing headlines, so Tausch, you've been able to funnel all of your focus and energy and enthusiasm into your sleeper. Who you got?
So, what's so funny?
The hesitation.
It's a hezzy. I'm not going to lie to you. When I heard last week after the game, when Matt LaFleur said the guys aren't playing, my
interest
my
level.
dauber was like, oh, okay. So I get it. I understand it.
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the right decision, though, even though it decreased your interest level?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think, again, having these guys ready to fly down out of Green Bay to Sao Paulo on the short runway.
Have we confirmed that?
I think someone confirmed it. I think maybe the Coos. I don't want to put Coos' business on the street. I thought I saw a tweet from the Coos.
I didn't know he worked at the airport.
Maybe I'm wrong. However they're flying down there, if they got to go Milwaukee, Chicago, whatever it might be, okay. Getting everybody there as healthy as they can is the objective one, especially your preferred starters. So I get all of that. With all that said, I told you earlier in the show, I gave you a little glimpse. Anthony Johnson Jr.
Oh. You've become a fan of his. Why?
I was a fan of his from the jump, and then obviously he didn't take that jump that I was hoping last year. But he's
Rudy Ford.
He's wearing 3.6 yet, right? Is he still wearing that the big time number?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some availability there for him to make plays. I just think with that backup, with all of those quarterback situations that they got, and the Packers pass rush being better, and Hafley's defense, I think opportunities are coming, and I think old boy's going to make a play. And all you got to do in the preseason, make one play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think old 3-6 is going to come out at a Steinhoffler. And I think I'm going to win again like I did last week.
I'm pretty sure I had Grant DeBose last week.
Yeah, well, I had Sean Clifford.
We don't count the preseason stats anyway.
Yeah, it's just warming up. You know what, Jason? I'll give it to you because you did. You've been raving about Dubois.
And he delivered.
He did. He was fantastic. I can't argue.
Jason's the Baltimore Ravens of Steinhoffel.
Well, Baltimore got beat last week.
Preseason.
Baltimore got beat in the preseason last week.
Yeah, they've slipping.
2 in a row they've lost.
Yeah, see if the Packers can beat them next Saturday at noon. All right. I'm going with a guy who he is. I compared Xavier McKinney to Charles Woodson, and it led to a segment. I'm going to make this comparison again. It is not the same, but he is this team's Mark Tauscher. It is Christian Welch, the pride of Iola, Scandinavia. Did you guys have a rivalry with? Were they in the Auburndale greater metro area?
They weren't
Did you play
at that
them?
time. We were in the Clover Belt, and I don't know, Iola, Scandinavia, known for their car show. Iola, Iola.
I don't remember that part of the jingle,
a song.
but
it's a jingle.
But they are down on linebackers. They've had a few guys missing time with injuries. Edgerrin Cooper has been sidelined for a while now. They got Tyron Hopper back, but they had to sign an inside linebacker just to have enough to get through practice. We know Eric Wilson has shown some good things. He may be an opening day starter along with Quay Walker and Isaiah McDuffie. But Christian Welch had a very impressive game in Cleveland. And he is going to be on this football team as a special teams guy. He's a native son. He went back and talked to his high school team and gave him a pep talk during the bye week last week.
Okay.
So he's got a little Tausch light to
Who had
him.
a bye week last week?
No. Last year, I meant. Did I say last week? I meant last year.
I know camp's getting softer, but holy cats, they're giving him a bye week now?
No. Last
camp?
year. If I said last week, that's on me.
You did.
But Christian
Thanks for trimming it
Welch
up.
is my Steinhoffel sleeper of the week. He's going to get a pick or a fumble recovery. He had a fumble recovery last week.
Make
Jesse?
a pretty good grape juice, too.
Nice.
Oh, they do.
Great insight there. That's good.
Thanks a lot.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Can I ask a question before I pick my
Yes,
sleeper?
Jesse, of course you can.
Where does the kicking competition stand going into this? Because I have to imagine when you're at zero elevation or mile elevation, whatever the elevation is.
I was going for vomit, like the LaFleur thing. No, never.
When you're at elevation this week in Denver, I have to imagine that LaFleur's going to want to see what kind of leg the kickers have.
75-yard field goals,
Greg
bro.
the leg.
So
Anders the Bonders.
Like, I'm tempted to pick Greg Joseph, Anders the what?
The Bond?
The Bond? He hits Bonders. It's got a rhyme.
Well, does he now?
Did that even technically rhyme?
So, like,
is that a crime?
If I wanted to pick Greg Joseph,
I wish you were a mime.
If so, I'll do my time.
Are they going to let Greg Joseph kick, or is this going to be the Anders show? Like, let's see what you got in Denver when you can show your best stuff.
Great question.
No, I think look, I had not seen this happen very often. I do think it's happened once or twice, but they were unprepared for the 2-minute drill the other day, and Sean Clifford got them in field goal range, but they didn't have the goalposts out on the field, so they were still moving while they were trying to get them lined up.
Got to move the goalposts.
Which was a little bit of a challenge for Greg Joseph, who did miss, but kind of a difficult situation there. Look, I don't think we're any closer to a resolution. I don't think they're going to just let one guy kick. They alternated last week. I do think that Alex Hale, the skipper, is probably not long for here. I wouldn't be surprised if they try yet another person. And as we talked about earlier in the week, I still wouldn't be surprised if they brought in someone that gets cut
Can we
after
get Tavecchio back
cut down. I don't know. I think he's moved on with his life, but where it stands is still undecided. And when you got 2 kickers, that means you got none. And they got 3 kickers, so you really know that they've got none.
All right, then I'm going to pick Joel Wilson.
Did you just do that to bide time?
No. I wanted to pick Greg Joseph.
You're biding your time so you could pierce.
Yeah, so then I actually thought I would want to pick Anders
And then Joel
Carlson.
Wilson trumped the other answers.
And then I thought, well, Tausch is going to give me grief if I pick Anders Carlson for not being a sleeper in the preseason. So now I'm going with Joel Wilson, the tight end.
I think Anders Carlson could be a sleeper. But Joel Wilson, is he going to make this team? Jaybird?
So you give me a hard time for focusing on obscure players on the roster too often.
I don't. I give you a hard time when you're mad at somebody and you don't want to go do an interview, so you go and interview Rudy Ford. That's why I give you a hard time.
By the way, he's back in the league. He signed with the Panthers.
Good for
Happy
him.
For
Rudy Ford might be the reason he didn't get the book.
There's potential in that, yeah.
No,
that's when all that anger and angst was going on, yeah. Rudy, who would guess that Rudy Ford just took $1 million out of you and Paul in the girls' mouths?
Rudy Ford cost Jason a vacation home in Oregon.
Yeah, isn't that something?
It's either Rudy Ford or Gerald Ford. I don't know whose fault it was, but
I'm
either
still
way.
mad at myself. I was driving on a Gerald Ford Memorial Highway, which I'm sure the Packers are driving on, and I didn't get a photo to put up when Hunter was doing our show.
Hunter.
I was going to. It's the Gerald Ford Memorial Highway.
Was it because you didn't have enough gas to get to where you were going, or you were going to have to stop?
No, we had plenty of gas out there. Plenty of gas.
Okay. Yeah, that as it may.
More gas than we wanted, if you know what I mean.
Thank you for that glimpse into your vehicle.
Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch. This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew, because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time. Add Brewers games to your after-school plans with the $9 student special tickets, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Every weekday, high school and college students score Brewers tickets for as low as $9. Get yours at brewers.com/students. Milwaukee Brewers baseball and Miller Lite.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Preseason football is underway, but you can also pick more or less on 2024 season stats on PrizePicks. Will Patrick Mahomes throw for more or less than 4,300 yards? Jordan Love, they have them all. Enter your season picks before week 1 kicks off. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on PrizePicks for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, run your game.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda Service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
This ain't a good time, but when is it ever? I know the perfect time, and maybe that's never. So don't you dare leave me now, throw my heart on the ground. 'Cause tonight ain't the night for sorrow.
Our sleepers of the week have been posted. You can share yours on the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed. Tell your guy Elon to switch it back to Twitter. I saw reports that he was considering it. No one calls it X anyway. Just do it, man. Tell him. Will you tell him for me next time you guys talk?
I'd love to have a sit-down with Elon. So, yeah, if I do get that,
okay, that'd be great.
I put a request in. We'll see.
They are posted. Christian Welch, Joel Wilson, Anthony Johnson Jr., your Steinhoffel sleepers from us. You can share yours.
I don't love the new format where you can't really see. I went on Twitter, and you have to like click on something to see the video, which I don't love with Twitter or X. So come on, Elon.
It's your guy. Time now for our guy, Jesse Nelson and Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
A story around the NFL we did not touch on yesterday. The Atlanta Falcons made a trade acquiring Matthew Judon, one of the best defensive players, maybe in the league, for sure, on the New England Patriots. He is now an Atlanta Falcon. Tausch, big deal, little deal, or no deal for the Green Bay Packers?
I don't know if it's a big deal. I do think, obviously, anytime you see a team in a division that is kind of wide open, I think Tampa won it last year, right?
They did.
With Baker. I don't know if I feel great about that. I think, Tampa obviously came into Green Bay and took it to us a little bit, and I think that's a big reason why Joe Barry is.
They gave Detroit a game in the divisional round.
Yeah, Atlanta's got the potential with Kirk Cousins and Bijan and all the talent that they have.
Musty Mac.
If their defense can get better, and obviously picking up a player of his caliber, he's a good football player. Do I think that moves them into the next echelon? No, but it does give them, I think, more confidence in their locker room that, hey, this, we're going for it. You spend all that money on Cousins. You bring Judon in. So I think Atlanta can be a team that I don't think they're in the same tier. I would put them tier 3 as far as where I'm looking how the NFC is kind of shaken out. But I think they have a really good chance to be a playoff team. And when you have a chance to be a playoff team, you have a chance to have a chance.
I agree. What are your expectations for Kirk Cousins, Tausch?
Anytime you come off of an Achilles, that's a dangerous thing. I think I've always thought Kirk Cousins is better than a lot of people. Kirk Cousins has been a consistent, very accurate thrower of the football. It always comes down to how good is Atlanta's offensive line. I haven't done a deep dive on how good their line is because he cannot play. Packers would always say, just get him off his spot. You could every time they played the Vikings, get him off his spot. You do that, he is not the player. A lot like Jared Goff. I think him and Goff are very similar players. So I think Atlanta it will be in a better spot because he's a veteran. I think he can make all the throws that you need, but I think he's limited. And if they're expecting him to take them to the next level, I think he'll make the team and the entire group improve. But I don't think they're a serious championship contender, not right now.
And if he stays healthy, though, they're able to do the Tausch plan, not just after Thanksgiving, but beyond that for Michael Penix.
The question is, if Minnesota gets off to a good start and Atlanta doesn't,
do they reacquire Kirk Cousins?
You trade back and get Kirk Cousins. If Michael Penix, let's say Atlanta is struggling, they moved the trade deadline, correct? Didn't they move the trade deadline a couple weeks, or did they keep it like late October, early November, right?
It was Halloween last year. Let me double check that.
Super late October. Let's say Atlanta fuddle-duddles around and they're struggling, right? And Minnesota's like, man, they've won some games that maybe you didn't think they would. Is there crazier things? I don't know. Yes, buddy.
You're not right all the time. I know you think you might be.
No, I've been wrong 3 times today, and I've admitted it.
It's actually true
in real time.
Yeah, we appreciate that. The deadline has been moved back even further. It is now November 5th. After the Week 9 games.
Oh,
November 5th.
Your parents will blow you off.
I hope your parents enjoy Vegas now.
November 5th.
They'll be scouting Devontae Adams.
Don't you think it'll be interesting if something happens? Sammy Darnold plays good and he gets dinged up, and the Falcons are struggling. It's like it's time to move on to the boy, to my guy.
This is never going to happen.
Never is a long time, my friend.
They could trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Let me tell you something. Don't think that all this stuff is crazy
like that
town.
Idea.
If things go south in certain places, don't be surprised if a veteran quarterback gets traded to a contender this year. Don't be surprised. Okay?
Whoa, Nelly! Aren't you anti don't be surprised as a take?
Don't be surprised if Matthew Stafford gets traded.
I'm not saying.
Kyler Murray?
I don't know if he's I doubt that, but maybe.
To get him cheap, probably.
I mean, there were people putting Tom Brady in purple. There were people on Twitter. I thought that was crazy.
There are people on Twitter is worse than don't be surprised.
Whoa, Nelly!
Dove Kleiman with an E, not with the A.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And he's got a good following.
Wait, what?
Dove's now got not people knocking him off. It was
well,
Dove
he's not
Kleiman
even Dove anymore. Dove sold it to somebody else.
Well, it's still Dove.
It's not
Dove with an A, and now it's Dove with an E. You take it for what it's worth, which is not a lot, but it is what it is.
What about the guy that had the scoop on the Love contract?
Pretty Ricky?
Pretty Ricky, yeah.
Was he accurate with what he was doing or not?
I guess kind of.
I mean, everybody can make predictions, and then if it's right, you're good. I wouldn't say he's an insider, but
he's not saying.
Whoa, Nelly! All right, I've been wanting to get to this all week. So
John Madden,
because I know
playing John Madden.
I know you're big on the Michigan Wolverines. No, I didn't want to get to John Madden. I don't know if that's
Why
even true.
Why is Frank Caliendo not going to play John Madden in the movie?
No, but Nicolas Cage is.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that can't be.
It couldn't
real.
be Kevin James. You can't just throw a heavy set fella in there.
Well, sure you can.
You can, but you shouldn't.
What are you
Frank
guys
Caliendo,
even talking
they're
about?
doing a John Madden doc, and Nicolas Cage is John Madden, which is ludicrous and absurd on numerous levels. Okay? But John Goodman, it should be John Goodman.
John Goodman's lost all this weight. He doesn't look that big.
But John Madden wasn't like, I mean...
You can't say you can't just put a heavy-set fella in
John
there and
Goodman's
then pick
skinny
John
now.
Goodman.
Why not put Frank Caliendo in there? Just let Frank go. Let Frank be Frank. Am I right?
It should be Frank Caliendo. Yes.
Okay, we're all on the same page. Next.
Whoa, Nelly!
Was that what you were waiting to get to all week?
No, it's not.
I thought that's what you were waiting to.
The Michigan Wolverines are celebrating their national championship victory in their opener on August 31st, hosting Fresno State. The NFL season starts the following Sunday. Many of the players who were on that Michigan team, including players in the NFL, will be back and all celebrating in the victory before the season gets started. Jim Harbaugh was set to be the honorary captain. He is now saying he will not be able to make it so that he can focus on his responsibilities as the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. That per Michigan coach Sharon Moore.
And you think this is sketchy?
What's sketchy about it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that there's all this stuff going on with Harbaugh, and suddenly he says he can't make it because he wants the focus. Just be honest.
What do you want him to say?
Do they play that weekend?
No, the Chargers don't play until the following weekend.
They had that Green Bay had their bye week last week during the preseason.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Chargers have their bye.
When you've had a day like
weekend.
you've had today, I don't think my slip of the tongue
That's
on
fair.
week versus year.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't understand what you're saying.
How about we just say Jim's not going to be able to be here, but we're going to focus on the players who won the championship? I'm not asking you to say we openly cheated and Jim is a cheater and he can't be here. I'm not asking you to say that. I'm not asking for Harbaugh to say I cheated and I'm not going to show up because I'm probably, this isn't even going to count in a couple of years per the NCAA. I'm just asking, don't say anything. Don't give a reason why you can't make it.
Well, then don't ask a question. Easy enough.
No one asked the question.
Somebody did.
Sharon Moore said Harbaugh will no longer be the honorary captain because he's focusing on the responsibilities of his head coaching duties as the coach of the L.A. Chargers.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I could give two rips about this story.
I knew that's where we were going there. I totally knew. All right.
The NCAA trying to like implement their hand on this is just ludicrous. The whole thing is just dumb.
Nicolas Cage will play legendary coach and broadcasting icon John Madden.
I have to admit, I got a nice text from one of our teammates, Jen, and she basically is telling me, don't be an idiot. There are no actors in documentaries, so this must be a motion picture film, which there are.
It is a biopic. Yes.
So biopic seems documentary to me.
No, it's with actors.
What?
A documentary doesn't have actors. It's
so
got
you're
people that are
telling me that
interviewed to
O.J.
talk
Simpson
about it.
deal, the 5 or 10 part deal, was that a doc or was that?
There were
both.
Because there were actors in that.
The 30 for 30 was a documentary.
And
It was
were there
a
actors in
5-part
that?
documentary. No, there weren't. There were interviews with real people
I'm not gonna
like
lie to you. I got
Christopher
educated right
Darden.
there. I didn't know how that all shook out.
Technically,
Okay?
O.J. was an actor, so
Yes.
yes.
No,
Thank
don't
you.
do that. There was FX. ESPN did the documentary series. FX did a whatever you want to call it, bio series, because it's not a biopic because it's not one movie.
Based on real life actors portraying.
Right, but it had actors in it playing O.J. and Marcia Clark and Al Cowlings and everyone else. All right, I don't have time.
Well, I'm just glad. I like to be educated on things.
No,
I didn't know that.
You have been, no. And Jen called you an idiot.
In essence, yes. And sometimes that's
you
fair.
have two responsibilities here, and neither of them have to do with John Madden or who's playing him in the documentary. One is you need to tell us about AmFam. Two, I'm told that you have been given the cheese fry helmet.
Yeah, I got the stanky cheese fry helmet.
Well, talk about delegation. He delegated that to you.
I love it. Packer fans, Dream Drive is back. Come on down to Lambeau Field. Kick off another year of big smiles in less than a mile. We started on July 22nd. She's finishing up soon. Get on down there, little Packer fans that can ride between Lambeau and training camp with their own bike or one from the AmFam fleet. Alongside your favorite coaches and Packers players, American Family Insurance continues to support this heartwarming event, mobilizing the community to realize their dreams as they ride safe and protected. Join American Family Insurance for another historic year as we keep the tradition moving. Grab your wheels and let's ride, Green Bay. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Isn't that what Russell Wilson was saying during his brief stay with the Broncos? Let's ride. Oh, tell me the microphone is going to get knocked off while you're doing this.
I think it already fell down.
It did.
Number one in your hearts and in the beginning of the week. Who is it, Jesse Nelson?
Dan in Brothertown is our winner of Wilde and Tausch trivia.
Father-in-law of the UW Green Bay women's basketball team's head coach.
You better get moving. Clock management, not great today, McCarthy.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
Very frustrating.
Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Will be brief, and it's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and with the start of the football season right around the corner with another preseason game taking place this weekend, I'm feeling good on this Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Holman Lindsay Quality Paints not only has the bold green and gold colors of our favorite team, but every color you'll ever need. Remember, Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint. And be sure to ask for it on your next project at any of Holman Lindsay's many Madison area locations. A Wisconsin legend for more than 6 decades, Holman Lindsay is the only paint made and mixed in Wisconsin and for Wisconsin. Check them out at HolmanLindsay.com. That's HolmanLindsay.com. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. Shop local, buy local. Holman Lindsay Quality Paints. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. The Don, Barry Alvarez, appeared on the Great Dane Huddle Thursday night and is very impressed by what he's seen from the Badgers' offensive line in practice thus far.
A year ago, we talked, and I told you I went to practice a couple times. There was a breakdown every snap in the offensive line. You can't run an offense if that happens. I didn't see that when I watched practice this week. I saw the line is secure. You know, they covered people up. They ran the ball well. They were throwing it around. I think it looks like a very efficient offense.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview of the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family-owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay.
All right, we've already run out of time. The show's supposed to be over. It is Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Look, this is not a feel-good story, but it is one that I think will touch a lot of people. I spent some time with Josh Myers earlier in the week. He lost his father to cancer right at the start of training camp. And I talked to Matt LaFleur last night from his hotel in Denver. And the way he talked about what Josh Myers has been through. Matt LaFleur's dad is at all the practices. He's obviously close with his dad. Tausch, you were extremely close with yours. And Josh Myers was with his dad. And to hear Josh talk about how he wants to dedicate this season to his father's memory, obviously he'd much rather his dad was here. But it was pretty compelling stuff. I'd like to recommend that you check out Madison.com to read that. All right, that's all we have time for today. We will do it again next week. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, now is the time to beat the heat with a refreshing new shower or bath from Kohler Services. A family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0-interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Stoughton Health, providing experienced physicians, nurses, therapists, technicians, and staff for personalized, forward-thinking expert healthcare. Stoughton Health, trusted care close to home. The Green Bay Packers at joint practice today with the Denver Broncos as they get set for preseason game number 2 Sunday night in the Mile High City. Kickoff Central Time is set for 7 o'clock. Many of the Packers starters not expected to play in this preseason game. ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky of ESPN's NFL Nation has plenty more to get you set for preseason game number 2. Check it out over at ESPNWisconsin.com. And if you missed the Green and Gold game preview or any of the other Packers conversation from Wilde and Tausch today, make sure you subscribe to the Wilde and Tausch podcast on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Baseball, the Brewers host the Cleveland Guardians for the first of a 3-game set this weekend tonight. 7:10 first pitch. Fastball Pretty Peralta on the mound for the Crew. The Brewers enter play today 9 games up in the NL Central, 2 back of the Phillies for the best record in the National League. Tonight on 100.5 ESPN, Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania returns for the high school football season. The preview shows with the Coaches Roundtable and the No Huddle preview starts at 6.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
He put on his helmet and shoulder pads. He actually had a fake football that he threw on the ground like he was recovering a fumble. That's how excited this show is going to be and how excited Harry Douglas is with the NFL season 20 days away from today from getting started in 2024.
Freddie, I'm on a different high right now. I'm on